Nicole Cartmel with the Bank of Missouri. Whether you're looking to pay bills or make a big purchase, sometimes you need cash quickly to take that next step. A consumer loan might be a perfect option to help you live well, bank well. Sonia McClendon, one of our branch managers, is here to explain.
Thank you, Nicole. We provide personal consumer loans for almost any purpose, from building your credit to financing that new car. We offer competitive rates, and decisions are made locally so we can get you the money that you need quickly. But what makes our consumer loans unique is that personal touch. For example, I recently worked with a customer to secure a loan for a horse trailer. He could have went elsewhere, but he chose to work with his bank because of that personal relationship that we've built with him. Being able to work with your personal banker that you know and trust makes a big difference.
That's right, because we work with our customers to help them live well, bank well. Get started at bankofmissouri.com.
It's the stuff every athlete dreams of as a child. The opportunity to take the field in a playoff game, win or go home, survive and advance, falter, and it is all over. It is the playoffs. And today, it's Eliminator Sunday in the Grip and Rip Baseball League, where two teams will move on to the playoff semifinals and an ongoing shot at the Howard Bell Trophy, while for two other clubs, 2024 will come to its conclusion. Hello once again, everybody. I'm Rance Berger. Welcome you into a sunny and warm Ozark, Missouri, Ozark Mountain Sports Complex, the home of the Grip and Rip Baseball League since its inception in 2016. And what a slate of eliminators we have for you today. Coming up first at high noon, it is yet another installment of the exciting rivalry that is the Springfield Metropolitans and the Moon City Mavericks, a rivalry known as the Queen City Derby, third meeting of the season between these two teams. It's a similar situation for our 3 p.m. game. It's a GRBL South Division battle, the Ozark Mountain Ducks taking on the number 3 seeded Branson Showmen. Third meeting between the clubs this season, and the first 2 games have been barn burners. That's been the situation for the Mavericks and the Metropolitans. Let's take you back. September 8th, the 4th week of the GRBL's regular season, saw the Springfield Metropolitans take a 3-2 victory that day, largely fueled by a great pitching performance. Ben Van Gorp and Clay Murphy combining for 6 shutout innings, and it turned out a sacrifice fly off the bat of Mark Blem was just enough for the Metropolitans to prevail 3-2. Flash a little bit forward, week 6 of the regular season, Sunday, September the 22nd. This time, it was the Mavericks prevailing. They got the big base hit in the bottom of the 9th. With the bases loaded, Sam Hornberger hit an infield single and dove head first into first base to reach safely. That scored Joe Emery, and that scored a 3-2 victory for the Mavericks. They got 3 shutout innings from Michael Barnes and then 4 shutout innings on the pitcher's mound from Joe Juarez to finish out the game. It was a total team win for the Mavericks at that time. It helped the club continue what has become a 3-game winning streak, and that streak is on the line today for Moon City. Most recently on September 29th, they shellacked what we thought was the second most dangerous offense in the league, but the Branson Showmen were beaten 10-1 at the hands of the Mavericks a week ago on a monstrous 4-for-5, 3 RBI performance by Tony Lewis. That also featured just some great, we had RBIs that game from Sam Hornberger, from Brady Welsh, and Michael Barnes got in on the act as well. Barnes pitched well. We saw good work through the middle of the game on the part of Ryan Cram, Tony Lewis, and then Joe Juarez throwing a couple of innings to close. Mavericks manager Daniel England a little bit tight-lipped about what his pitching management strategy would be for this one. In grip and rip baseball, there's no pitch count, but pitchers are restricted as far as the number of innings they may throw in a single game. A pitcher is usually maxed out at 3 innings. However, one pitcher may be designated for up to 5 innings of work, and it doesn't have to be the starting pitcher. So we don't exactly know how it's going to work, though we suspect we will see some combination of Ryan Cram, Tony Lewis, and Joe Juarez coming on in relief for the Space Cowboys today. What we do know is the starter is Michael Barnes, and Michael Barnes has been very good for the Moon City Mavericks as of late and over the course of this hot streak they have been on in September. It's a total of 15 innings of work this year for Mikey B, 5 earned runs on 10 hits with 13 strikeouts. He's walked 9 batters and has a 3.33 earned run average. Over the course of the last 3 weeks in which the Mavericks have won games, he's allowed just a single earned run, and that was against the Showmen last week in a 4-inning performance, which he scattered 5 hits, struck out 3 batters, and walked 2. So we'll look to see if the left-hander out of Fort Scott Community College, a Springfield, Missouri native, can keep it going in this his 3rd year of grip and rip baseball. But really, in terms of the career of Michael Barnes, this has been the best and brightest from the pitcher's mound he has ever been. He's really figured something out, and it's been really fun to watch. On the opposite side of that, the Springfield Metropolitans making a little bit of a lineup shuffle, electing to start right-hander Ben Van Gorp. Nixa, Missouri native BVG, 19 and 2/3 innings rather here in 2024. He's allowed 11 earned runs on 17 hits, struck out 13, walked 14, which has been a point of contention, and he's got a 5.03 ERA. Last time out, BVG pitched 2 2/3 in relief against the Locos, coming on really an unplanned entry into the game, coming in from left field just to throw 8 warm-up pitches and then get ready to face Republic. He allowed 2 earned runs on 2 hits, struck out 2, and walked 3. But manager Clay Murphy going with BVG to start this thing. He was also a little bit secretive about what his plan is in terms of middle relief. You know, I think there's a chance we're going to see Todd Tolbert come on for an inning. He's got some other options. He's got Calvin Dreyer who can pitch. Dalton Winkler can throw. He could bring Cole Hazelhorst, who had been the starter in a middle relief situation. He's also got the lefty Landon Wright. And don't forget, it's Clay Murphy. He's always got himself. So Clay Murphy could call his own number and enter the game at any time and point to act as a fireman if the Metropolitans find themselves in a situation where they need to stop a bleed, and they need to do it quickly. Check of the weather today, absolutely beautiful. Right now, 82 degrees here in Ozark, Missouri. Does not feel like October, I can tell you that. It feels like it's 83 degrees. About a 48% relative humidity. Winds are out of the northwest at 9 miles per hour. And the barometer, 30.09 inches of mercury, falling slightly. But there is just absolutely no danger whatsoever of rain today. It is clear skies, an absolutely clear ceiling. Beautiful day with just a slight breeze, and it's downright warm in the stands. It is shorts and t-shirt weather out there. So if you've never been out to a grip and rip baseball game, or it's been a while, come on out and see us. Come on out for Eliminator Sunday. Admission just $5 for adults, and children 12 and under get into the ball games for free. Coming up later today, we've got the Ozark Mountain Ducks taking on the Branson Showmen. Showmen won both of the regular season meetings between those two teams, and they were both close ball games. Week 6, it was an 8-7 win for the Showmen, in which they got some heroics late in the game. Back-to-back triples off of Chris Leggett and Skylar Carter helped fuel the Purple Gang to victory. And then if you hearken back to when we were playing at Metter Park in August, second week of the season, Branson got a 7-5 win. That was a come-from-behinder as well, fueled by a 3-run home run off the bat of Jacob Carlson, and then a solo shot off the bat of Trey Turner provided some insurance. It was the first time ever in the history of the GRBL that we saw back-to-back home runs, but it was absolutely thrilling. Ducks and the Showmen, always good. There's just something about the rivalries that have evolved. Doesn't really matter who the players are. Year to year, the rosters change, but the level of competition stays hot. So we expect a good one today at 3 p.m. between the Mountain Ducks and the Showmen. We're going to step aside, come back, and bring you the first pitch of the Springfield Metropolitans and the Moon City Mavericks. It is the Eliminators win and go on to the semifinals for a shot to take on either the Republic Locos or the Nixa Suckers. Lose, and the 2024 season is over. You become a spectator at that time and point. We will bring you all of the action right here, live and free on our YouTube channel. Big thank you to Central Bank of the Ozarks for sponsoring our coverage all season long, and to the league's title sponsor, Henry's Towing. When you're in a jam on the side of the road, you got to make the right call. You got to let Henry do it.
Acme Towing Company. That's too far away.
Let Henry's do it.
Nah, we're ready to close.
Let Henry's do it.
Henry's is ready to take your call right now. From compacts to semis, Henry is here to help 24/7. Save yourself the hassle and make us your first call. Henry's gets there fast, offering multiple locations to serve the Ozarks. When you're stuck on the side of the road, make the right call. Let Henry do it.
I need a change. My workouts are too boring.
Oh, I've got an amazing workout for you. Hot yoga. I've lost weight and I'm more flexible.
Try our community classes for only $8.
Sumit's Hot Yoga. You are going to feel awesome.
I'm Nicole Cartmel with the Bank of Missouri. If you're in the market for a new home, you're probably spending a lot of time looking at real estate listings. But there's one main thing you need to do to narrow down your search. Get pre-qualified for a home loan. Mortgage loan officer Shannon Meissner is here. How does this help you to live well, bank well?
Getting pre-qualified for a mortgage loan is definitely your first step. Pre-qualification allows you to determine early on how much money you can borrow to purchase a home in connection with your monthly budget. This way you know what homes to be watching the market for. We have lots of different loan options to fit everyone's unique needs. This way we can help you accomplish your homeownership dreams and goals. And the best part about pre-qualification is there's no cost. It's quick, easy, and it makes you a smart buyer.
Thanks, Shannon. And of course, our mortgage loan officers like you are here to help you every step of the way. At the Bank of Missouri, we help you live well, bank well. The Bank of Missouri is an equal housing lender.
Umpires for this one. It's a two-man crew with some solid GRBL experience over the course of 2024. Edward Browning is on the bases, and the man behind the dish with the chest protector and the mask calling the balls and strikes will be Brian Lozano. Good choice for the playoffs by the part of the Mid-America Umpires Union. Brian Lozano has been good, and what you also look for in an official, he has been consistent and steady all season long, especially when it comes to knowing where the strike zone is, where the balls and strikes are. Lozano does a great job, really takes this seriously, and we appreciate having both Brian Lozano and Edward Browning out here with us today. Michael Barnes has finished his warm-up routine. He's ready to rock as the Moon City Mavericks put a 3-game winning streak on the line against their rivals, the Springfield Metropolitans. One team will win and go on, and for the other, the season is over. It is the Eliminators. They can be cruel, but they're also thrilling. Clay Murphy pops one into shallow center field. Joe Emery, is the Mavericks center fielder, ranges over to make the catch to get out number one, and we are underway. 12:04 p.m. start time. Batter will be Harrison Broadstreet for the Springfield Metropolitans. Former teammates with Michael Barnes a year ago rather. Harrison Broadstreet has been cold, one of several Metropolitans veterans who have just not had a hit count to speak of this season. That's a hot liner, but it is manageable and caught by the left fielder for the Mavs, Ryan Cram, for the second out. So we've seen a couple of good swings here from the Metropolitans in the early going, but a couple of flyouts. That's kind of been their story. These are guys who know how to hit, know how to play offense, and know how to succeed in this league. They just have not put it together here in 2024 in the way of offense. Just 23 runs scored for the Metropolitans. That is last in the GRBL. First pitch to the lefty, Harrison Waters. A strike called on the outer half, down at the knees. Michael Barnes started him off with the heat. Comes back off speed and up. Waters swung and fouled that. He is quickly behind in the count. Stand corrected. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Thought we were 0-2. We are 1-2. Barnes comes back, went to the fastball, and he bounced it in front of his catcher, Devin Phillips. Left to right across the infield, Joe Juarez. Brady Welsh is the shortstop. Carter Rinne at second base. Sam Hornberger at first. They are all playing Harrison Waters to pull. Right fielder Jake Thompson is very deep for Moon City. The other outfielders are at more or less standard depth. Emery in center and Cram in left. 3-2 payoff pitch. That was up. Waters goes the other way. That is to the gap in left center field. This is going to be extra bases. Waters thinking about 3 as he comes around second. The throw from Joe Emery cut off by the shortstop Brady Welsh. Waters dives in safely, and it is a 2-out triple for the Metropolitans and Harrison Waters. Well, that is more like the Harrison Waters we've been used to seeing over the last couple of seasons. He came into the day 3 for 15. He's now 4 for 16 after that triple to left center field. And more importantly for the Mets, he's on and in scoring position for Zach Young here in the top of the first. Young, 5 for 18 for the Metropolitans. It's his second year in the GRBL. His rookie year was 2022. Did not play last year, struggling with some tendonitis in his knees, but he's back out here in 2024, giving it a go. He's the extra hitter today. One pitch from Michael Barnes. Swung on. And then it got away from Devin Phillips. That's going to allow Harrison Waters to score. It is 1-0 Metropolitans. Mets jump into the lead early. Triple by Waters. And then some quick base running as Michael Barnes threw what's going to be charged as a wild pitch. It's 2-2 to Zach Young with 2 gone, nobody on. Struck him out, but the damage has been done. It is 1-0. The Metropolitans lead Moon City early in this GRBL playoff eliminator. Back with more Grip and Rip baseball. It is the playoffs, live and free, right here all day long on YouTube.
When Gary and Sandra Henry started Henry's Towing nearly 5 decades ago, customers knew that Henry would be the guy coming to help. People would call and ask to let Henry do it. And as Springfield has grown, our family has grown as well, so there's always someone around to come help you out. Everyone at Henry's is a member of the family, fully trained and as dependable as the original. With a family this size, help is always right around the corner. So if you find yourself in need of roadside assistance, remember to call the name you've grown to know and trust. Remember to let Henry do it!
Do you ever wake up and feel like you're already out of energy?
I haven't felt that way since I started doing yoga.
You do yoga?
Every morning. Best change I've ever made.
Try our community classes for only $8.
Sumit's Hot Yoga. You are going to feel awesome!
Springfield Metropolitans lead 1-0 as we get ready to start the bottom of the first inning. Ben Van Gorp, the veteran right-hander, on the hill for the Metropolitans, getting the start today. A little bit of a lineup shuffle for Clay Murphy and company, looking to get established, and they got established as Harrison Waters tripled and then scored on a wild pitch. Pleased to bring in the Grip and Rip Baseball League's, I don't even know what your title is anymore, Kevin, the Executive Director of Fun, I think, but Kevin Robertson hops into the broadcast booth to join us for as long as he feels like it, I guess. But good to see you, K-Rob.
Rance, as always, it's a good time talking with you. We usually go through and have a conversation once a year, so I figured it was about time for the season end, and always a pleasure to talk with you.
Well, it is. It's crunch time for all the players, as you know. It is Eliminator Sunday here in the playoffs, but it's crunch time for our staff here at the GRBL as well. And it's it's the playoffs for a lot of hardworking folks. I think our intensity dials up a little bit too, and it's fun to be part of that team.
No, it is. It is. Over the years, we've kind of had some staff come in, staff come out, and one of the nice things is we've got to see some consistency with our staff the last few years now, and it's always a huge pleasure to get to work with a lot of these guys that put this show on every week.
Well, here in the press box, of course, we've kept Derek Saiko, our director, under contract, and Derek's done a great job. Daniel Davis is back for all the fans who are regulars at games, and they love the sound of his voice on PA. But we've brought in some new players as well. Zach Still has done a great job serving as the scorer for the games here at Ozark Mountain Sports Complex, and then we've had Jacob House doing some production work for us as well.
Yeah, and there's one other guy that you're missing there. One of the lifebloods out there. Rance Berger is also known to be key to a lot of that work that goes in.
Speaking of key to work, Joe Juarez just had the 8th hit of his GRBL season. That's 8 hits in 8 games for Joe. Leadoff single into left field, and the Mavericks have a little something cooking here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've not got to see as many games as I would like this year. Obviously between kind of being out, kind of taking some steps back, but it's always glad to come back and hear guys who are succeeding and having good seasons. Joe being one of those guys for sure.
Brady Welsh watches a bouncer go by. Nice block from the catcher for the Mets, Cole Hazelhorst. So on the infield, left to right, it's Mark Blem. Clay Murphy is the shortstop. Harrison Broadstreet at second base. Calvin Dreyer is the first baseman. It'll be Dalton Winkler, Harrison Waters, and Grant Cundiff in the outfield to start it off for the Mets. It's Cole Hazelhorst behind the plate catching for Ben Van Gorp, who's got a 1-1 going here with Brady Welsh. Off-speed pitch swung on, fouled back. Yeah, Kevin, that's kind of been the thing that amazes me is, we've got stability with our staff, yourself included. But yeah, stability with the players. Ben Van Gorp's been out here since day one. He's still an original, one of 12 originals from 2016, still in this league.
That's insane. You go through and you think about it. I've talked about this with Tony many times. When it comes to what we are as a league, right? Everything in life is what you make it is. And when you go through and you look at these guys coming out here for 9 years, I mean that's insane. It speaks to the volume of this league.
Chopper to third, Blem throws to second, and no, they did not get Joe Juarez. And Edward Browning, the field umpire, says Harrison Broadstreet did not step on the bag at second base. So the Mets trying to go for the fielder's choice lead runner out. Instead, the Mavericks have 2 on, nobody out. And they're on for Tony Lewis. So Tony, Kevin Robertson, coming off of a monster game, which he pretty much saved his season. He is now 5 for 19 with 6 RBIs on the year, largely aided by going 4 for 5 last week.
Doesn't hurt at all.
And Tony drives one off of Ben Van Gorp into the gap. Tony's going to think about extras. The Mavericks are going to think about scoring 2. Daniel England gave the whoa sign. Welsh ran through it, and it is 2-1. City out in front as Tony Lewis just stays hot. 8 RBIs in 8 games now for the Godfather.
Yeah, no, I love seeing Tony have some success here. I know he put in a lot of work this offseason to kind of get his body ready, and it's important for him to start succeeding the way that he wants to.
Absolutely, yeah. Tony's down almost 50 pounds. Changed everything up. Michael Barnes flares one, a dive and a catch by Harrison Broadstreet, and Tony Lewis was nonchalant about it, but he almost got doubled off there. That's 1 away on a diving grab by Broadstreet.
Now batting, number 21, Joe Emery.
Gonna bring up perhaps the handsomest man in the GRBL, Joe Emery. Am I right?
It's quite a bold comment there, Rance.
Well, sometimes you got to take chances on the microphone, K-Rob. So 36 hits, lifetime for Joe, 6 for 21 this season. Couple of walks, and has struck out 5 times. These Mavericks have all just been finding it at the right time. You know, they were punching bags. No nice way to say it, really, for the first 3 weeks of the season. And here in September, they've really been anything but, winning 3 in a row, downing the Showmen 10-1 on the final day of the regular season.
Well, that's one of the things that makes, such a small league like ours, 6 teams, with everyone having a chance at it, at winning the Howard Bell Trophy at the end. It keeps everyone engaged the entire time, so you can go through and, the first handful of games, it matters, but at the same time, what is more important is these types of games right here.
Chopper off the bat of Emery to the shortstop. Murphy looked down Lewis and then got it to Calvin Dreyer. Had to bend down to Pickett, but Pickett he did. 2 away. It's called peaking at the right time, my friend. And what I think the Mavericks had to do was just sort of come together, figure out who everybody was, and sort of find their collective identity. They have done that.
And that's kind of been the identity of Daniel, I feel. Daniel has, over the years, consistently peaked at the right time. I mean, he's been in the championship game, 5, 6 times now?
Well, he's got his name on the bell 5 times. He has not been... Last time the Mavericks won it was 2021, in what was statistically the best team in the history of this league. They were 8-1.
Well, I still think he does a good job. So
I think he does a great job. You can never count out a Daniel England managed club. And what's great about him is, he is kind of what the GRBL is about. Had no experience coaching baseball before he became a manager in this league. As there's a flyout off the bat of Carter Rinne, caught by Harrison Broadstreet. Had a busy inning, but that's a nice over-the-shoulder catch on the run. So yeah, Daniel England, great example of a guy who was, he doesn't come from this big college baseball pedigree or anything like that. He's got a law enforcement background, but has found success in the GRBL as a pitcher, and then as a manager, just as a guy who believes in this league, believes in the cause, and obviously there's a big brain between those ears, because he's figured out how to manage teams to success out here.
Sure. Well, and one of those things with coaches, you've been part of the conversations in the years in which we've needed to replace coaches and Tony's need to bring new guys in. It's not always just the baseball pedigree, right? There's more to managing a team, guys that, kind of command the respects of their teams.
Mm-hmm.
That's Daniel through and through. Guys come in, respect him, and he's one of those guys that, obviously, he's got plenty of baseball experience to be here. Let's not kid ourselves on that.
No.
But he's one that guys like to be around. He's one that guys like to follow, and that's a big conversation Tony's had over the years when he's had to replace a manager here and there. Is you want to have those qualities, and that's something that Daniel possesses very well. I think, honestly, all of the coaches that we have right now do that.
Yeah, it's a good crop of leaders, that's for sure. And guys like Daniel England go out there and earn it over time. Guys like Clay Murphy, who are, Clay Murphy's been a winner from the day he got dropped into this league back in 2020. So it's, guys follow him because he can say, just, follow my example here. It's 2 different kinds of leaders, 2 different styles of baseball that we see out here, but Mavericks Mets has produced 2 good games this year, and I have no doubt we're watching a good one here. 2-1 at the end of the first inning, getting ready to start the second. Michael Barnes taking the warm-up throws. Say a big thank you to the league's title sponsor, Henry's Towing. When you're on a jam on the side of the road, you got to make the right call. You got to let Henry do it, or go to lethenrydoit.com.
Absolutely.
I have had to let Henry do it several times over the course of my GRBL career.
As have I.
Yeah, it's just one of those that you got to know. You got to know. You never like making that call, but I always tend to feel good after I've had to do it, as there's a strike thrown to Cole Hazelhorst. He is the Metropolitans catcher, hitting in the 5th spot. It'll be Hazelhorst, Cundiff, and Blem. Here in the 2nd, breaking ball from Michael Barnes is outside, and we're even 1-1. Fielder straight away, but sort of seen a lot of just guarding the lines. That's kind of almost a standard defensive alignment in this league. There's another strike thrown on the outer half. Michael Barnes ahead 1-2. He's doing a good job working ahead in counts here in the early going.
It's felt like a quick inning, you know. I mean, obviously we're here in the 2nd inning, and you know I don't want to jinx us. You'll be here a lot longer than I will be.
Don't ever do that.
Yeah. But no, I mean, they're pounding the strike zones, getting balls in play, and obviously that makes it for more exciting baseball.
2-2. Hazelhorst lifts this one in the air to right. Jake Thompson tracked it. That was not an easy catch, but former high school football safety at Ash Grove tracked it down and hauled it in. So here's Grant Cundiff, sponsored by C&H Industrial Remanufacturing. Rookie out of Missouri S&T is 5 for 14 with 2 triples and a double. So more often than not, when Cundiff hits, he's going for extras. Looked at a strike there.
You know, it's one of those things that we don't get brought up enough, and you can't see it as well on the live stream as being out here in the actual ballpark. But let's take a moment to thank Harrison Waters and all those graphics that he's done out there on that Jumbotron. I mean, that is such a cool thing to watch.
It is. There are pros, quite frankly, who are jealous of what Harrison Waters does for this league as Cundiff strikes out. 2nd K of the day for the lefty Michael Barnes, and the batter is Mark Blem.
Mark Blem, another original 60, correct?
No. Mark Blem broke in season 3.
Season 3.
So he and I had the same rookie year. I will forever remember Mark Blem's first tryout, because the first time I met him, I was scared of him. I just remember thinking somebody had better draft that guy, because I do not want him coming back here angry.
Now
thankfully Courtney Spitz pulled the trigger that first year.
Absolutely, and he's been a guy that we love to have in the league. You know, we talk about having good staff. We talk about having, you know, good sponsors. One thing that I don't know if we truly appreciate as well as we should is having good guys that get into this league.
Good people. The GGR is, as we say, the good guy rating. Fastball down on the 0-2 ticks us up to 1-2. But yeah, you know, that is something I know managers try to evaluate for with new rookies coming in, and they definitely talk about it with returning veterans as well. As Blem grounds this one, it will spin foul. Sam Hornberger, the first baseman over there, to touch up.
Yeah, I want to say Blem had he's been involved, like you said, since season 3. It feels like it's been longer, you know.
Well, you know, yeah, he's just you know, an old soul, and he's been a steady hand. He's got his name on the bell a couple of times, or 3 times, I should say. 2029 or 2019, 2029. Goodness, 2019 with the High Rollers, 2020 with the Mountain Ducks, and then a season ago with the Metropolitans.
Well, I know he's wanting to stay in this league for a few more years. I don't know if he's quite wanting to make it to 2029, but you know, you never know. It's a possibility.
You know, guys like, you know, Todd Tolbert and Kurt Brand, those guys in the 50-plus bracket, give a lot of dudes hope. But you know, Mark Blem, 40 years old, got a chance. The 2-2 is going to get through up the middle, and that is a slump-breaking base hit for the Metropolitans' third baseman, Mark Blem. Exchanging words with the Mavs manager, Daniel England, there, I think, is reminding him, yeah, you know, you're still 1 for, but nonetheless, that's a monkey off the back right there for Blem. And back to serious business for the Mavs as the Mets just put a game-tying run on here in the 2nd. 2-1 our score, and Calvin Dreyer, very dangerous hitter. Dreyer with 3 hits here in 2024. uncharacteristically slow for him. He is normally an 8 or 9 hits in 8 or 9 games a season kind of guy. 0-1 goes outside. Not to mention just a sneakily good defender. Calvin just there's nothing flashy about Calvin's game, but he's just above average at everything he does. I think his skill gets overlooked sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a good chunk of guys in this league that obviously they've got the name recognition, right? They're the ones that win the awards. They're the ones that everyone thinks of. Of course that person's going to go first, second, third, that kind of guy. But there's plenty of guys like Calvin that just are good ball players.
Michael Barnes made a good pitch to get a good ball player to strike out there. So the score remains Mavericks 2, Metropolitans 1. K-Rob and I are back right after this.
I'm Nicole Cartmel with the Bank of Missouri. If you're in the market for a new home, you're probably spending a lot of time looking at real estate listings. But there's one main thing you need to do to narrow down your search. Get pre-qualified for a home loan. Mortgage loan officer Shannon Meissner is here. How does this help you to live well, bank well?
Getting pre-qualified for a mortgage loan is definitely your first step. Pre-qualification allows you to determine early on how much money you can borrow to purchase a home in connection with your monthly budget. This way you know what homes to be watching the market for. We have lots of different loan options to fit everyone's unique needs. This way we can help you accomplish your homeownership dreams and goals. And the best part about pre-qualification is there's no cost. It's quick, easy, and it makes you a smart buyer.
Thanks, Shannon. And of course, our mortgage loan officers like you are here to help you every step of the way. At the Bank of Missouri, we help you live well, bank well. The Bank of Missouri is an equal housing lender.
Two to 1 is the score, middle of the second inning. Moon City Mavericks lead the Springfield Metropolitans, and the Mavs will come to bat trying to pad their lead. Rance Berger alongside Kevin Robertson for the GRBL Playoff Eliminators. Next week, it will be the semifinals. Games are at noon and at 3. Matchups are to be determined. I can tell you the Nixa Suckers, the number 1 overall seed in the tournament, will play at high noon. The number 2 seeded Republic Locos will play at 3 p.m. Their opponents, of course, will be decided today, and we are not going to know the matchups until the conclusion of our 3 o'clock game between the Mountain Ducks and the Showmen because of the way we've got the seeding set up. We don't do the hard bracket. It's always set up so that the best seed will always play the worst seed in each round. It's the way lots of professional leagues do it, but I feel like I still have to explain it every time, just for reasons. So there we go.
Well, that's what makes you good at your job, is going through and making sure you explain well.
Devin Phillips, the Mavericks catcher, flies one. That's going to get into the stands and out of here. It'll be the 7, 8, and 9 batters for the Mavericks this inning. So Devin Phillips, Ryan Cram, Sam Hornberger, the big walk-off hero from a couple of weeks ago. Devin Phillips, U.S. Army veteran and electrician by trade from Willard, Missouri, father of 7 with his wife Zoe. Can't miss the Phillips family transit van whenever they roll up to the ballpark. And the great thing about Phillips, he always brings his own cheering section, so there will never be the sound of silence whenever he's batting.
No, that's a big part of it. Over the years, I personally, as someone who's kind of been involved on the entertainment side of things and kind of helped getting crowd engagement, you'll love whenever people bring their families to the ballpark.
You can't beat when the Phillips kids show up. I mean, they are the show, right?
Well, you got the kids races, and you got activities that we run during special events and stuff, and the more kids that are involved just makes it a more fun, electric environment to be around.
Absolutely. 1 and 2. That was Michael Easters. He's not playing this year, but a GRBL veteran, won a championship with the Mets last season. Told me there is nothing like being out on the field and hearing "Go Dad." It's just it is a sound, he said, that was just incomparable to anything else he had done in his sporting career.
Oh, absolutely. It's one of those things that you go out there and you see these kids. A lot of times people don't appreciate the simplicity of baseball sometimes. They don't get to come out here and just enjoy. Sometimes they're like, it's hot. I'm out here. You know, the person I came to watch is only watching a few games or whatever, a few innings. But those kids, man, they love getting to come to the ballpark.
Fly out there, and again, the Harrison Broadstreet has been a busy fella for the Metropolitans. That is his third putout, and we're just in the bottom of the second inning. Ryan Cram coming up here, second-generation GRBLer, 24-year-old son of Josh Cram, who played for the Trey Watson Realty Closers back in 2018. So Ryan, 3 hits in 16 at-bats, a couple of RBIs. 2 of his hits are doubles. He's also pitched 13 innings, so pretty solid two-way player in his second year.
Got a very live arm.
There's a base hit, and no doubter. Out into left field it goes, and Ryan Cram, he had 2 hits a week ago in the Mavericks win over the Showmen, so Ryan had kind of an up and down month of August and early September, but he is turning it on at the right time.
Number 3, Sam Hornberger.
Here is Sam Hornberger, rookie out of Glendale in Springfield, Missouri.
Big hack.
Man, he was trying to have the whole playoffs in one swing there, I think.
And obviously we're rooting for home runs here. And I think it's been announced a few times. Any home run this year that happens to bounce off the scoreboard. Henry's Towing is doing a home run alleyway, I guess is the best way to say it.
Yeah.
So anytime someone hits a home run that bounces off of a scoreboard this year, it will be $500 to the player.
Yeah.
And then $500 to a nonprofit of that player's choosing.
Wow.
So we've been having that all year. Obviously, it's hard to get some elevation.
That's got to be a monster dinger, but doable.
Moving forward.
Sam Hornberger sends one through into left field. Cram is going to woe up at second, but back-to-back singles for the Mavericks. Moving forward, Kevin.
Moving forward, they will be having some signs at both ball fields moving forward of a home run sign that will hopefully be a little bit lower and closer to the fence to hit.
I mean, look, a home run out of this ballpark is always impressive. We saw Jordan Fitzpatrick for the Suckers do it a week ago. You got to carry that 16-foot wall out there, and it's a big outfield, right? 375 to the gaps, 330 feet down the line, and then 400 to dead center. When you come out here to see college and high school baseball with the metal bats, you see maybe a few more bombs, but with a wood bat or a composite bat, it's got to be a good swing.
It does, but I still have some faith. I have faith in a few of our guys.
Tell you what, we've had our share of home run. There have been grip and rip years where I thought one home run flew out, and we thought, thank goodness we got to see one. But they're not quite as rare as a full solar eclipse or something equally fleeting. Jake Thompson swung on and missed at a slider from Van Gorp to fall down 0-2. Thompson, a rookie out of Ash Grove, hitting .333. Also drawn a walk and been hit once. Van Gorp missed way outside. Big stab from Hazelhorst. Keep that in front of him and keep the runners in place. 2 on, 1 out. Mavericks leading by 1. Jake Thompson, the batter, trying to add to it here. Van Gorp threw him a curve. Thompson late getting to it, and he pokes it foul first base side.
I had remembered not too long ago, Ben Van Gorp obviously has been playing in this league for quite some time. I forgot that I actually remembered him. He was a senior my freshman year in high school.
All right, you guys both went to Nixa. All right. BVG, another slow curve, another swing and a foul by Thompson, who is battling. At some point, you think BVG just trying to set up a chance to gas him here, 1-2?
I'm sure he would love to.
Hazelhorst motioning to the infielders. Yeah, that looked...
That was the attempt.
That was, yeah, the high heat. Jake Thompson again fouled it off. So he's been late getting to it on the last 3 swings, but he is touching it and staying in the hunt. And, you know, the longer this goes, the more it plays to Thompson's advantage. I don't know, a head 1-2, maybe you waste one here. Well, they went inside. A jam shot is trickled slowly to short. The play is at first, and Murphy throws it away. Cram is going to come in and score. It is 3-1 for the Mavericks. So we wait and see. They score that in. No, okay, sorry, E6. Yeah, there we go. I thought I saw the hit ticker change, but yeah, E6 is the charge. It is now a 2-run lead for City, and back to the top of the order go the Mavs. First and third, 1 out, Joe Juarez.
See, and you got to worry a little bit. You know, obviously this is an elimination game, and Clay has won how many championships in a row now?
4. He has never not won the championship in his time out here.
So
yeah, that streak is looking to be in danger.
Then again, it is early, and you know, he's managing a team that been there, done that a few times.
Yes,
you know?
we have, you know, earlier this year we've seen an 8-run lead evaporate, so, you know, nothing is really safe. Joe Juarez was way out in front of that against his former teammate Ben Van Gorp, fouling it off. So these two guys, Juarez and Van Gorp, played together all the way back in 2018 on Austin Kendrick's A&L Electric Shockers. They were teammates again in 2020 with the Branson Showmen. The Tony Lewis managed Branson Showmen, might I add.
You know, you got to think that's probably one of those fun things that people don't talk about enough. You know, obviously, anytime you go out on the field, you're wanting to win, right? You're wanting to get at good at bats. But when you get to do it against someone that you like and trust, it's a lot more fun. That adds the fun element of it.
Fly out to the shortstop, Clay Murphy, as Juarez got under that one for the second out. It's going to set up first and third, 2 out for Brady Welsh. 4th-year man out of Arkansas State who pitched in the Atlanta Braves farm system. Came out here in the GRBL excited to be a shortstop, he said. He was really gung-ho about being a position player out here. He has pitched some, but he has really made his way as a plus-plus defender and a pretty good hitter.
And that's important in this league.
Well, Brady this year 6 for 27. Would like to see the hitting for average tick up a little bit perhaps, but you know, he's 30-plus hits in his GRBL career. Certainly plays well enough and defends well enough that he's got to be in your lineup. That is up in the air into shallow center. Waters running in. He will make the catch. And out number 3. So the Metropolitans do get out of the jam, but not before the Mavericks plate one. Back-to-back singles from Ryan Cram and Sam Hornberger. And then an error by the Mets allowed Cram to score. It is 3-1. Space Cowboys out in front, headed to the 3rd inning.
I'm William Beadle of Tolbert Beadle. Why would you call anyone else after a car accident? Tolbert Beadle has been right here in Missouri for decades. We know the local courts, and we know how to fight. You don't pay us a penny unless we win money for you. And we're not satisfied until we secure the largest settlement possible. With millions of dollars recovered, you know who to call. Tolbert Beadle, when you need justice.
3-1, the Moon City Mavericks lead the Springfield Metropolitans, headed to the top of inning number 3. Michael Barnes still has the ball for City. I think it will be decision time for manager Daniel England at the conclusion of this inning. Does he stick with Michael Barnes, putting the 3+ tag on him, or does he save that back? Both managers going into this one were very tight-lipped about what the pitching plan was, other than Clay Murphy said he's going to pitch at some point today for the Mets. And Daniel England said, yeah, I don't want to push Mikey B too hard. And that was all I got out of both of those guys when it came to strategy. So keeping the cards close to the chest, apart from, we knew the pitching matchup was Barnes versus Van Gorp to start. I like that. It's just this playoff intensity always ratchets up a little bit.
And it's one of those things with these being elimination games. You really want to see them have their best out there, but you also want to see if they could maybe throw off the other team a little bit with mind games.
It speaks to how much these guys want to win and how seriously they take this. This is not just a men's Sunday league where everybody drinks a bunch of beer and spends 3 hours in the stadium. These guys are here to play. They're here to excel. They are here to win. Michael Barnes throws one outside to BVG for ball 1. Van Gorp, the number 9 hitter. It'll be Van Gorp, Dalton Winkler, and then back to the top of the order, Clay Murphy this inning. Well, as I talked about pitching management strategy, the Mavericks do have right-hander Tony Lewis going out to the bullpen, just getting things going with backup catcher Evan Barnett. So might be some foreshadowing, Kevin.
And I'll have to draw upon your memory here, because obviously both you and I are friends with Tony. He did pitch in his France.
Yes,
France
he did.
leagues,
He pitched a lot. He pitched. It was like 60 innings over the course of his summer, short season baseball. But yes, a lot of innings were pitched. That was sort of part of the deal. When you are a foreigner in a European league, the expectation is that you will two-way it. So Tony was a two-way player and ate a lot of innings during his time with the Bois-Guillaume Woodchucks in France. He has been coming on. He's found it with the knuckleball. As there's a called strike to Van Gorp, thought he walked and flipped the bat, and now, oh boy. Brian Lozano, pretty reasonable guy. He's a good umpire, consistent zone. Don't like to see that happen to him. Here's a 3-2. This is swung on, grounded. Carter Rinne, the second baseman, with it for the Mavs. Throw to Hornberger in time for the out.
And before we go off to anything else, I would like to talk a little bit about Tony and obviously his big announcement that happened this weekend.
Yeah, he is inducted into yet another Hall of Fame, and one that is very important to him, I think. Judging by just his reaction and the reaction to those close to him. Big deal for Tony Lewis, announced as a new member of the Drury University Athletics Hall of Fame class. He will be inducted later on this fall. That's going to be a great time, and big congratulations to Tony. He's already in the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame as a Diamond 9 inductee, but that Drury Athletics Hall of Fame, I know something special to him, and some of his best baseball memories as a member of the Drury Panthers. Michael Barnes, a former Drury Panther in his own right. He's in a 2-1 count here with Dalton Winkler, number 10 hitter in the Mets order.
Yeah, I enjoy having fun with all this stuff, and obviously Tony's at all the Hall of Fames. One day, against his best wishes, it seems at times, he will also be in the GRBL Hall of Fame, much like the man sitting to my right.
This is a grounder to Juarez for the out there. That's really not, Tony and I have talked about that when we got the GRBL Hall of Fame going. It's different when you're a staffer, right? Your longevity can be a lot longer than what a typical player's longevity would be. So
of course.
So yeah, I think the Godfather will certainly get inducted, because he is the founder, the commissioner, and all that stuff, and it'll absolutely be deserving. But for Tony, that's going to happen when he says he's ready for that to happen, and not a moment before. It'll be a good celebration when it does.
I agree. There's so many guys that have been staffers for so long, that have been so important to this league, and I know that you're not a man of immense amount of bragging upon this, but obviously, we love having someone like Rance Berger doing what he's been doing for so long.
Fly out to the center fielder off the bat of Clay Murphy, so 3 up, 3 down for Michael Barnes. And yeah, you know, Kevin, that's one of those things, you know, let me get to about season 20. I mean, you know, this is my 7th year in the GRBL. It's been out here since season 3.
So you got the longevity,
so
you got the talent.
You know, yeah, but look,
production,
you know,
all of the things.
I'm just barely getting started, friend. You know, wake me up sometime around season 20 if you want to hit me for some kind of recognition. Seriously, I want to do. I'm about 150. I need to go back and count. About 150 games in. Let me get to around 300. You know, let my kids get old enough to enjoy this, whatever the ceremony would be, and then we'll talk.
Absolutely. Well, you can also earn it before then.
I mean, yeah, but you know, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's take a break. 3-1 is the score. Back with the Mavericks coming to bat in the bottom of the 3rd.
Your local Hotsy dealer is an expert with hands-on cleaning knowledge to help you select the ideal pressure washer for your job. Take confidence in knowing you have a resource for all your cleaning needs. Service can be scheduled in-house or on location by a factory-trained technician using genuine Hotsy parts. Be sure to ask about scheduled maintenance plans, as well as a variety of accessories to clean more efficiently. And don't forget the soap. We have detergents for every cleaning need and have a bulk delivery program. Customized wash bays and mobile cleaning systems are also available. Build a partnership where you're a name, not a number. Contact your local Hotsy dealer to see why nothing cleans like a Hotsy.
Say his name and he appears. It is the Godfather, the founder, the commissioner of the Grip and Rip Baseball League, and still a player, Tony Lewis, at 40 years old, stepping in to face Ben Van Gorp in a playoff game. 3-1 is the score. Moon City Mavericks lead the Springfield Metropolitans. Tony swung out of his cleats there. That will get out onto the outfield grass, and boy, Harrison Broadstreet made that look interesting right at the tail end, didn't he?
It looks like I was out there is what that looked like.
It was not quite the routine catch that old Harry B was going for there. Nonetheless, 1 away, nobody on for Michael Barnes, Mikey B. Kickapoo High School graduate, went to Fort Scott Community College, played some collegiate league baseball right here in this stadium. As he sends one down the left field line, Winkler knocks it down. Barnes is going to hold up for a single. Before I even really had a chance to brag on him, he's already getting a base knock. So Barnes with his first hit of the day on for Joe Emery. Joe played a year of junior college baseball at St. Louis Community College Forest Park and then went to Truman State University, NCAA Division II, the Harvard of the Midwest. There is not a lot to do in Kirksville, Missouri, apart from studying, if you aren't involved in agriculture in some capacity.
Well, that does give him an opportunity to be a good ball player, so we're
I was going
glad
to
to
say,
have him.
No excuse for the athletes not to train, other than all of them are dealing with some significantly challenging coursework. But yeah, Joe went on to get a master's at SIU Edwardsville.
Good for him. Swung
and fouled that off. Works using his kinesiology degree. He likes to say his occupation is strength coach, but you know, there's a lot more science to to what he does than just strictly motivating people to lift weights.
Hey, it's trying to keep yourself in good health in general. Then you come out here to all these athletes. I'm sure he's been able to give a few pointers to a couple of people.
Definitely, he's given me some pointers, actually. I was working out with some players one off season. Just wanted to get the feel for what the players go through to get ready. So fell in with a group of guys, and Joe made me want to cry out for my mother, applying a foam roller to different limbs and stuff. But hey, the guy knows what he's doing. I'll say that. It just was rather unpleasant as I was getting put through it.
for those of you who cannot see me, I'm not exactly the typical, grouping of an athlete. So I could not imagine. That does not sound fun in any capacity to me. Foam rollers or not.
Joe Emery didn't have fun there as Van Gorp got him looking. 2 away. Batter is Carter Rinne. Carter's had a good last couple of weeks. He is now 6 for 20 on the season with a couple of doubles. 3rd year in the league, 1st year with Moon City, just 24 years old. Looked at a called Steerike on the outer half. Recruited into this league by the great Cole Rourke. Chops this one to second. Broadstreet flips to Murphy. They get the lead runner for the out. And that will end inning number 3. Okay, Rob, you got some entertainment-related work to go and do?
I do have to head off. I just want to say thank you, Rance, as always, being the immense talent you are, and it's a great pleasure of always getting to come up here at least once a year, talk to you. Being in the presence of a one-day Hall of Famer is always an exciting amount, and just getting to hear all of your talents on display is absolutely lovely to be. Also, thank you to the entire staff. They are an absolute joy to be around. They make it an absolute blast to be here every Sunday. And I don't even get to be here every Sunday. So all of that being said, want to say thank you to the entire staff. If you guys come out to a ball game, please make sure you express appreciation to Rance, Daniel, Saiko, all the guys. It's been a huge blast.
Certainly be remiss not to mention Susan at the gate. Susan Schaefer does a great job on a weekly basis. She is the hospitality pro. And then Mike and Vonda Holland, the great husband and wife team, whether it's in concessions or working the merchandise table, doesn't matter. Mike and Vonda always take care, and they truly do love this league and love the people in it. So
absolutely,
just it's an all-around great team to be part of, yourself included, Kevin Robertson.
Mike Hudges.
Mike, Hudge, yes, the Hall of Famer.
The one who will, when you do decide to join the Hall of Fame, you'll be with him as well.
And
so
the staff wing, if you will.
The staff wing of the Hall of Fame.
It's a lonely wing right now, just Hudge.
Well deserved. So.
All right. Well, we'll worry about that in about a decade, K-Rob. Until then, we'll see you around the stadium. We'll see you next Sunday.
Appreciate your answer.
Kevin Robertson, the GRBL's Executive Director of Fun, I think is the exact job title. Vice President of something. Anyway, it's a Henry's Towing pitching change for the Moon City Mavericks. As we thank the Bank of Missouri, let's thank its president, Tony Lewis, who has gone to the mound in relief of Michael Barnes, who threw the first 3 innings, allowing 1 earned run on 2 hits, and he struck out 3 batters. So numbers for Tony Lewis, largely in middle relief, does have 2 pitching victories, believe it or not. Tony for the season, 6 innings, 5 earned runs on 8 hits, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, and a hit batsman, a 7.50 ERA, as Harrison Broadstreet chops one just foul. Last time out against the Showman, Tony threw 2 scoreless innings, no hits, struck out 2. It was 2 perfect scoreless innings. So facing Harrison Broadstreet here, it'll be Broadstreet, Waters, and Young, the 2, 3, 4 hitters for the Metropolitans. 3-1 is our score as Broadstreet looked at a Steerike. It is 0-2. Nothing and 2 for Broadstreet. Lewis sidearmed a fastball low. Got an ooh from the Mavericks fans. They thought that looked pretty good. Instead, it is 1-2. Make it 2-2. So Lewis's mission here probably is to go at least this inning and maybe the 5th, so that Moon City could save back Joe Juarez as long as possible in the event that this game is close late. It is now 3-2. Harrison Broadstreet has worked his way back into a full count. Knuckleball swung on and lifted into shallow center. Emery on the run. He will make the catch. Former Gold Glove Award winner in 2022, Joe Emery, showing off his range. That's his third put out of the ball game. It's going to bring up the very dangerous Harrison Waters. So a couple of Drury Panthers about to lock up and do battle here. These guys also friends away from baseball. So Tony Lewis and Harrison Waters. They love to needle each other a little bit too. Waters puts that one in the air to right. That will get down in front of the right fielder, Jake Thompson. And that is a single for Harrison Waters. So he's 2 for 2 today. Once again, something cooking for the Metropolitans as Dirty Harry sat back, waited on the knuckler, and then this was sort of pantomiming how he did it over there at first base. So Zach Young struck out his first time up. It's 5 for 19, native of Bolivar, Missouri. 40 years old. Went to Missouri State University and played back in the day. Zach's an interesting story. Left Southwest Missouri for a time, lived in Iowa for about a decade, and played some pretty serious men's league baseball up in the Hawkeye State. Came back here to Southwest Missouri, sort of reestablished some old contacts. One of them, his old high school teammate Jared Brashler from Bolivar, Missouri. Brash said, "Hey, we got a place for you if you can still go," as Harrison Waters steals second base. They worked out together. Brashler sort of implored Zach Young to come out and try out in 2022. Knuckleball from Lewis is a called Steve Reich to make it 2-2. So thanks to Jared Brashler's recruiting efforts, Zach Young has been a key contributor for the Springfield Metropolitans for a couple of seasons. That is hit sharply up into center field. Mets are going to send it. Waters comes home. Emery throws. It's offline. Lewis did a good job backing it as Young advances to second, but it's an RBI base hit for Zach Young, and that cuts the Mavericks' lead. It is now 3-2 Moon City. So with a man in scoring position, still 1 out. Batter is the catcher, Cole Hazelhorst. Cole with 2 hits in the Mets' first 7 games. Swings and lifts one in the air to right. That's going to be trouble. It gets down in front of the right fielder, Thompson. He throws into second, but Young will score, and we are tied 3-3. Cole Hazelhorst goes the opposite way, out into right field, an RBI base hit, knotting us up at 3. It is now 3 consecutive hits for the Metropolitans.
Number 5, from Missouri S&T, Grant Cundiff.
Batter's going to be Grant Cundiff. Metropolitans do have activity in the bullpen. Cole Hazelhorst, after that hit, is walking out to go get warmed up with the backup catcher Rob Fackrell. So we could be due for a pitching change for the Mets in the bottom of this inning. 0-1 to Grant Cundiff, the rookie out of Missouri S&T. Knuckleball slapped to the third baseman, Juarez. No play at second. He throws across to first to get the out. But a great jump by the courtesy runner. That's Dave Allen running for the Mets. So a 5-3 put out for Mark Blem, who is 1 for 1 today got out of a slump with a base hit in the second. Sponsored by Blem Tool Company. Runner goes, and then Blem swung and missed. It is a steal for Dave Allen. So he is now 90 feet away from giving the Metropolitans a lead. Tie ball game 3-3. Knuckleball slapped to third. Two hop to Joe Juarez. Fires to Hornberger right on the money. And so the threat is neutralized. Back-to-back assists from Joe Juarez. Nonetheless, the Mets score two. They have tied the ball game. 3-3. We go to the bottom of the fourth right after this.
I'm William Beadle from Tolbert Beadle. It only takes 1 second for a person to be involved in an accident. And when the worst occurs, there's only one person that matters: you. At Tolbert Beadle, we want to be the one you call for help. We're the one to get you the compensation you deserve from the insurance companies. Call us today and find out if you have a case. The consultation is always free. Tolbert Beadle, when you need justice.
When Gary and Sandra Henry started Henry's Towing nearly 5 decades ago, customers knew that Henry would be the guy coming to help. People would call and ask to let Henry do it. And as Springfield has grown, our family has grown as well, so there's always someone around to come help you out. Everyone at Henry's is a member of the family, fully trained and as dependable as the original. With a family this size, help is always right around the corner. So if you find yourself in need of roadside assistance, remember to call the name you've grown to know and trust. Remember to let Henry do it!
Towing pitching change for the Springfield Metropolitans. They bring on the right-hander from Woodstock, Georgia, the #1 overall pick in the 2024 GRBL draft, Cole Hazelhorst. Across 12 1/3 innings in 2024, Hazelhorst has allowed 7 earned runs on 9 hits, struck out 11, walked 7, and hit a batter for a 5.11 ERA. Last time out against the Republic Locos, he pitched an inning and a third, allowed 3 earned runs on 2 hits, struck out 2, and walked 3. He walked 2 batters in his previous outing on September 22nd. That has been a point of contention mentally for Cole Hazelhorst. He's not happy with the number of batters he has been walking as of late, so he's looking to dial it in here against the Moon City Mavericks. In the Eliminators, it's a tie ball game. 3-3. Looking back, Hazelhorst has pitched 6 innings against Moon City here in 2024 and has allowed 2 earned runs over the course of those innings of work. That was all the way back September the 8th. So it is a streak of 5 scoreless innings for Hazelhorst against this Maverick lineup. That bodes well. But he got roughed up last time out against the Republic Locos. Just looked, best way I can say it is just mentally off. We saw him take an immense amount of time, much longer than usual, in between pitches. Just looked like confidence was maybe not what it was back in August as he was cruising through opposing lineups. But we're going to see. Do we get the relaxed, light, ready to cook Cole Hazelhorst, or do we get the overthinking Cole Hazelhorst? And corresponding move with him going from behind the plate to the pitcher's mound, Robert Fackrell has come on to catch for the Metropolitans. Other than that, defense is as the club started the game. Blem, Murphy, Broadstreet, and Dreyer on the infield with Winkler, Waters. Or check that, actually Van Gorp has gone out to left field, so it's Ben Van Gorp in left with Waters in center and Cundiff in right. Batter is Devin Phillips for the Mavericks. 1-0 pitch swung on. As Hazelhurst attacked with a high fastball to make the count 1-1. Check that, 2-1 to Devin Phillips. Swung on and grounded out into left field. Base hit for the Mavericks catcher. So Phillips now 1 for 2 on the day. Leading off the bottom of the 4th with a base hit that puts him on for Ryan Cram. Cram 1 for 1 today. On something of a hitting streak as of late. Had 2 hits a week ago in the Mavs win over the Showmen, both doubles. Hazelhurst shows the pickoff move that sends Devin Phillips diving back. Hazelhurst goes high and tight. Ball 1 to Ryan Cram. Fielders at double play depth. Outfielders configured ever so slightly, favoring Cram to pull. And the wind out of the north seems to have picked up a little bit. It's actually out of the northwest right now at 11 miles per hour. So yeah, it has picked up. It was at 9 when we started this ball game. So we are now 62 minutes into the contest. 2-0 the count to Ryan Cram as Cole Hazelhurst has tried to pick Phillips a couple of times. Tries it again. To no avail. Seeing a lot of umbrellas, or parasols, if you will, coming out here at Ozark Mountain Sports Complex. The sun absolutely beating down, no clouds. Ryan Cram lines one. Great leaping grab from Clay Murphy. His throw back to first is in time, and they double him off. A 6-3 double play for the Metropolitans. That could be big in a tie ball game. Clean sheets for Sam Hornberger. Mavericks first baseman singled out to left field first time up. Now with 4 hits in 8 games, Hornberger has been trending in a positive direction. Slider swung on, that is in the air to center field. Harrison Waters sort of settled and then had to backpedal as the ball began its descent. But he tracked it well, made the catch to get the out. So Hazelhurst gave up a hit, but no harm done. We head to inning number 5 with the score 3-3, Moon City and Springfield knotted up in the Eliminators.
I'm Nicole Cartmel with the Bank of Missouri. Whether you're looking to pay bills or make a big purchase, sometimes you need cash quickly to take that next step. A consumer loan might be a perfect option to help you live well, bank well. Sardi McClendon, one of our branch managers, is here to explain.
Thank you, Nicole. We provide personal consumer loans for almost any purpose, from building your credit to financing that new car. We offer competitive rates, and decisions are made locally so we can get you the money that you need quickly. But what makes our consumer loans unique is that personal touch. For example, I recently worked with a customer to secure a loan for a horse trailer. He could have went elsewhere, but he chose to work with his bank because of that personal relationship that we've built with him. Being able to work with your personal banker that you know and trust makes a big difference.
That's right, because we work with our customers to help them live well, bank well. Get started at bankofmissouri.com.
godfather, Tony Lewis, back to the pitcher's mound for another inning for the Moon City Mavericks. They are tied 3-3 with their rivals, the Springfield Metropolitans. One team is going to win this thing and advance to the GRBL Semifinals and a shot at the Howard Bell Trophy. Another team will see its 2024 season meet its demise today. Calvin Dreyer looks at a ball outside. It's the 8, 9, 10 hitters in the lineup for the Mets this inning, so Dreyer, Van Gorp, and Winkler. Calvin watched that one go by. City Utilities water line installer from Dallas County, Missouri. Lewisburg is his place of residence. Buffalo is where he went to high school. North Arkansas College is where Calvin played for a couple of years. There's a hot shot liner, but it's right at Brady Welsh, the Mavs shortstop. Snared that one without incident for the first out. So he's on for nobody is on rather for BVG. Ben Van Gorp, Nixa, Missouri grad, who went to Evangel University back when they were the Evangel Crusaders of the NAIA. Lewis starts him off. Breaking ball outside. Ball 1. Fielder straight away deep for Van Gorp. Watched a knuckler tailed down and out of the zone. Ball 2. That was the knuckleball, walloped one hop to the shortstop Brady Welsh, whose big inning continues for the second out. He zinged it over to Sam Hornberger in time. I'll bring up the catcher Robert Fackrell. So Fackrell replaces Dalton Winkler in the batting order. Makes mathematical sense now that I think about it. So Fackrell 1 for 6 in limited plate appearances this season. He's a former college wrestler who is from Springfield, Missouri. Went to Glendale High School, as did the pitcher Tony Lewis. And Fackrell wrestled at the University of the Ozarks down in Arkansas. Came back to Springfield, got into the restaurant biz, but one of the more affable guys out here has made plenty of friends among the GRBL's 20-somethings and some of the older guys. It's pretty hard, even when Rob is struggling, he just tends to always approach the game with a smile on his face. The 1-2 knuckleball swung on, flared, foul. It's going to stay down around the lower concourse. So Fackrell is battling. Lewis winds and deals. Another knuck dipped down below the strike zone, right over home plate. So we're even up here, 2-2. Looked like a little sidearm. Guess we'll call that a fastball. Full count, we can tell you that. 3-2, the payoff. They tried the heat again, that's outside. Wishful thinking on Tony Lewis's part to jog toward the dugout after that. But a little bit of embellishing salesmanship there, perhaps. So with Fackrell serving as the catcher, they are going to courtesy run for him. That is Landon Wright on to run, and the batter is the leadoff man, Clay Murphy. So Clay 0 for 2 today, but he is the Metropolitans' leading hitter. 11 for 24 on the season with 4 runs batted in. He's also walked 3 times, has been hit by pitches twice, with the bruises to show off. He's dealing with the lingering effects of a couple of hit by pitches. One to his lower left leg, right around the calf. Said he's got enough swelling that it was tricky to put his baseball socks on today. Also wore one in the ribs with a bruised show for it. He's ahead here 2-0. As Lewis sets from the belt, comes home, knuckleball right down the pipe. 2-1. It's Murphy waiting back to get a look at that one, I think. These guys probably have not looked at a true knuckleball in a while. There's a check throw, not a bad idea. As Landon Wright went diving back head first. Sam Hornberger put the tag down on his back, but Wright was safe. 2 balls and a strike for Clay Murphy. The Metropolitans' leading man slaps a fastball left side. Joe Juarez, the third baseman, bobbled it, but he made the recovery. The throw was in time by a step for the out. So a big scoreless inning pitched there for Tony Lewis and the Mavericks. They are tied 3-3 with the Springfield Metropolitans. Back right after this break.
Remanufacturing isn't just a process, it's a legacy. From the seasoned hands of our experts to the eager spirit of the new generation, we bridge the gap by bringing together knowledge and innovation. We are one team with diverse experiences. We are moving toward one goal to ensure our future thrives. We are on one mission to pass down wisdom and embrace the new, ensuring the earth flourishes for generations to come. We are CNH Reman.
I need a change. My workouts are too boring.
Oh, I've got an amazing workout for you. Hot yoga. I've lost weight and I'm more flexible.
Try our community classes for only $8.
Sumit's hot yoga. You are going to feel awesome.
3-3 is our score. Metropolitans and Mavericks all knotted up in this GRBL playoff eliminator. Only one team will win to go on. Coming up today at 3, it's the Branson Showmen taking on the Ozark Mountain Ducks in our second playoff eliminator of the day. Two teams who were division title winners this season. The Nixa Suckers out of the south and the Republic Locos out of the north have byes this week, so they are waiting in the wings to see which two clubs win and advance today. That all sets up the GRBL Semifinals next Sunday. That'll be Sunday, October the 13th at high noon. The Nixa Suckers will take on an opponent to be determined. And at 3 o'clock, the Republic Locos, the number 2 seed in the playoffs, will take on an opponent to be determined as well. Today at 3, Showman Mountain Ducks, Trey Turner has been named the starter for the Branson Showmen on the mound after throwing 5 scoreless innings a week ago. It is still TBD for the Ozark Mountain Ducks. The probable starter would be left-hander Kyle Carpenter, but whether or not that is what is going to be written on the lineup card for Austin Kendrick's club remains to be seen. 6 hits for the Moon City Mavericks in this one, 5 for the Springfield Metropolitans. It's a 3-3 ball game as we get ready to start the bottom of the 5th. Got Jake Thompson, Joe Juarez, and Brady Welsh scheduled to come to the dish for Daniel England's Space Cowboys. Metropolitans have won the last 2 Howard Bell Trophy championships. For the Moon City Mavericks, the 2021 champions, they have not tasted the finals since that time. Dano would love to get his club back into the big one at the end. So here's Jake Thompson, the rookie out of Ash Grove, reached on an error last time up on a play that plated a run. Jake, coming up, was a three-sport athlete at Ash Grove. Unabashedly told me his favorite sport was football, but appreciates the opportunity he's got out here to continue playing baseball in the grip and rip. He was a catcher and a utility player for the Ash Grove Pirates. One of those guys for whom catching was sort of put into his lap later in his prep career because the Ash Grove Pirates really needed a catcher, and Jake Thompson is regarded as one of the best athletes available, so it was decided he would learn the position. He's kind of a middle-of-the-order hitter as a high schooler as well. It's just a guy who could do some dirty work, take some gritty at-bats, as we've seen him do here in the grip and rip, and just get on by any means necessary sometimes as he swings and fouls off that offering from Cole Hazelhorst. So 2-2 for Thompson. Hazelhorst winds and fires. They miss outside. Count is full. Payoff pitch. Got him looking on the outside corner. Thompson down on strikes for the first out in the bottom of the fifth. Back to the top of the order go the Mavericks. It is the 41-year-old veteran out of Kansas City, Kansas Community College, Joe Juarez. An all-timer here in the GRBL. Been in the league since 2018. Taken a couple of years off, but back out here in 2024. He's hitting well. 8-4-23 is Juarez, so chasing that 333 mark. Down 0-1 here, now back even 1-1. Joe was an outfielder at Kansas City, Kansas Community College, but has predominantly been an infielder throughout his career here. I suspect we'll see him pitch before this one is over. When he makes his point of entry will remain to be seen. I think, if I don't know any better, it looks like the Mavericks are planning to send Tony Lewis out for one more inning. Breaking ball swung on, and Juarez goes down on strikes. That's back-to-back strikeouts for Cole Hazelhorst. Doesn't get easier as he faces Brady Welsh, who is 1 for 2 on the day. Brady looked at a strike there. The 0-1 outside and wild, but no runners on, so no harm done there. Wind blowing out toward right field. Slider lifted into center. Harrison Waters, all-star center fielder, is there to make the catch and the third out. So 3 up, 3 down for Cole Hazelhorst and the Springfield Metropolitans. We are all tied up at 3 after 5 innings. We will go to inning number 6 in a moment.
I'm Nicole Cartmel with the Bank of Missouri. The risk of losing your hard-earned money to scams is real, especially the scammers sending out fake communications. And that's why we're talking to our Director of Fraud Mitigation, Corey Gerstenschlager. He's got some good practices to help keep your money safe.
Thank you, Nicole. Yes, often we're seeing that people are being contacted by scammers through text message, phone calls, or emails, posing as legitimate companies or even your bank, trying to persuade you into providing sensitive information like passwords and things of that nature, sometimes even asking you to send them money. If you receive any kind of communication like this and you didn't ask for it, that's a good red flag that it isn't legitimate. So when you have those situations, get an actual number that you trust for that company, call them and verify the accuracy of the information that you're receiving. Good rule of thumb is make sure to check your accounts frequently and report any suspicious activity.
Thanks, Corey. At the Bank of Missouri, we help you live well, bank well.
Tie ball game and elimination on the line. Moon City Mavericks manager Daniel England has gone to his bulldog. Joseph Juarez makes the move from third base to the pitcher's mound. 24 1/3 innings worked for Joe Juarez in 2024. He's allowed 11 earned runs on 33 hits, struck out 17, walked just 2, hit 1 batter. It's a 4.07 ERA. Across the month of September, Joe Juarez allowed just 1 earned run in 14 innings pitched. Last time out against the Branson Showmen, he was quite good. 2 innings, no runs, 1 hit, plunked a guy. But other than that, it was a very, very solid outing, and Juarez looked to be into form. Daniel England asking for a little bit more from Joe here as he comes on in the 6th, and the Mavericks still have their 3+ inning designation. So my sense tells me if Joe Juarez is feeling sharp and is getting outs, and if the Mavericks are keeping it close, he could be called upon to go the distance. It'll be Harrison Broadstreet coming up for the Metropolitans, as correspondingly, speaking of the Mets, Clay Murphy out in their bullpen down the left field line, starting to throw with catcher Robert Fackrell. So Murphy perhaps looking at what the Mavericks are doing and seeing this, the 6th inning, as his possible point of entry. Juarez threw one way inside to Harrison Broadstreet. That evens us up 1-1 as Street got back and got out of the way. Got him to chase a slider down there. That looked like it caught catcher Devin Phillips in a place that rung. I don't know if that caught hand or leg or what it was, but Phillips is going to take a moment to walk that off. Devin Phillips is a tough guy. It's going to take more than that to keep him down. So 1-2 to Broadstreet. Tie ball game in the 6th, and Juarez got him with a changeup down on strikes. Goes Street. Brings up the very capable Harrison Waters. He is 2 for 2 today with a triple. Makes him 5 for 17 on the season with a couple of extra base hits. Waters had 14 hits for the Metropolitans in 2023, a league record 16 in 2022. Drives that one right at the second baseman, Carter Rinne, who had to jump. But Carter Rinne, too good of a defender to misjudge a line drive like that one. And he collects the second out of this inning. So Zach Young hit an RBI single his last time up. Nobody on this time. So he will have to contend with clean sheets. Young does have home run power. Hit one out of this very stadium as a rookie in 2022. Juarez threw a slider on the outer half for a called strike. Went back to the same pitch. That's too far outside and off the plate to the liking of plate umpire Brian Lozano. We're back even 1-1. Swinging a chopper, that'll get foul. Third base side, where Moon City's Evan Barnett was there to touch it. So with Juarez going to the pitcher's mound, Barnett on to play third. Other than that, the Mavericks are aligned as they started the ball game defensively. Phillips behind the plate, Welsh is the shortstop, Rinne at second, and Hornberger at first. Juarez ran that one inside. It's 2-2. Cram, Emery, and Thompson, the outfielders. Mavs a little bit short-handed due to injuries. Playing with just 2 subs today, as there's a fly out into center field, handled by Joe Emery for the third out. So Joe Juarez's point of entry in the 6th is a 3-up, 3-down inning with a strikeout. Still tied 3-3. Metropolitans. Are they going to make a pitching maneuver when we come back from the break? We'll find out together right after this.
I'm William Beadle of Tolbert Beadle. Workplace injury? You can't afford to be financially set back. In Missouri, our workers' compensation laws are found in Chapter 287 of the Missouri statutes. You need an attorney who knows these laws and has worked with them over the past 25 years to help injured workers. The call is free. The results are exceptional. We've won millions of dollars for our clients over the years. Tolbert Beadle, when you need justice.
Acme Towing Company. That's too far away. Let Henry's do it.
Nah, we're ready to close.
Let Henry's do it.
Henry's is ready to take your call right now. From compacts to semis, Henry is here to help 24/7. Save yourself the hassle and make us your first call. Henry's gets there fast, offering multiple locations to serve the Ozarks. When you're stuck on the side of the road, make the right call. Let Henry do it.
A Henry's Towing pitching change for the Springfield Metropolitans, tied 3-3 with the Moon City Mavericks, bottom of the 6th in this playoff eliminator. Metropolitans manager Clay Murphy is calling on himself. He is out of Wolf Lake, Illinois, and Missouri State University. It's his 5th year in the Grip and Rip Baseball League. His name on the Howard Bell Trophy for winning championships 4 times. Once with the Mountain Ducks, once with the Moon City Mavericks in 2021, twice with the Springfield Metropolitans. All he knows is the taste of championship champagne, and now he is putting the fate of this one on his own shoulders as the Mets and the Mavs are going to try to lock into a pitcher's duel between Murphy and Joe Juarez. Somebody's got to survive it. 21 1/3 innings for Murphy in 2024. He's allowed 5 earned runs on 25 hits, 19 strikeouts, 2 intentional walks, and he's hit 1 batter. It is an 0-3 win-loss record. That has never happened in Clay Murphy's GRBL career until now, and a 2.11 ERA. Last time out against the Republic Locos, Clay pitched 5 innings. He allowed an earned run, 8 hits, 7 strikeouts, and a hit batsman. And it was a triple allowed to Scott Wilson of the Republic Locos in the 10th, followed by a bloop single over the first baseman's head by the Locos' Chris Mesa that brought in the winning run walk-off style in 10 innings. That dropped the Metropolitans into this elimination game right here, right now. Murphy's first offering to Tony Lewis, a slider for a called strike. That slider has just become the hallmark for Clay Murphy out here in the GRBL. No one has really been able to completely solve it. You know, Clay has had to diversify his repertoire as his career has gone on, so we've seen more fastballs and a few more slower breaking balls thrown into the blend. But when he is on, when he is feeling at his best, that man on the pitcher's mound, one of the all-time best to ever do it here in this league, and maybe, just maybe, in the discussion for who is the GOAT. I mean that in the modern sense, greatest of all time, not in the old-timey sense. It's 0-2 to Tony Lewis, who foul-tipped one to stay in the hunt. A Another 0-2, another slider. That was fouled off of his foot. Not feeling good for the batter. But for Murphy and the Mets, that's exactly where they want him. Lewis today, 1 for 2, a 2 RBI double in the first, made the score 2-1, giving the Mavericks a lead. A lead that then eroded in the fourth on RBI singles from Zach Young and Cole Hazelhorst. And that's how we got into this situation, tied up 3-3. Another 0-2 pitch. They try the fastball outside. Lewis does not chase it. This is well hit in the air to center field, but no problem for the Metropolitans center fielder Harrison Waters. He continues to have a big day. And there's now 4 catches in center field for Harrison Waters, but that is why he was the Metropolitans franchise player at the expense of a second-round draft pick back in June of 2024. Michael Barnes flares one. That is carrying well foul up and out into the seats and maybe beyond on the first base side. That may have cleared the retaining fence and fallen down into where the old Ozark Mountain Ducks clubhouse is down that right field line. Barnes then looks at a strike on the inner half. 0-2. Looked like a two-seam fastball. Murphy winds and fires. That was a breaking pitch. It is chopped. Second baseman Dalton Winkler on a quick exchange got it over to his high school friend Calvin Dreyer from Buffalo for the out. So the Metropolitans, with Murphy going to the mound, correspondingly moved Harrison Broadstreet to shortstop. And they brought Dalton Winkler back in to play second base. Still Mark Blam at third, still Calvin Dreyer at first, and then it's Van Gorp, Waters, and Cundiff in the outfield. Hazelhorst has gone back behind the plate to do the job he was drafted to do, and that is catch Clay Murphy. First pitch to Joe Emery is a breaking ball, swung on down the left field line. It goes. That's going to be extra bases, at least a double for Emery. He will go in standing up to second base. Great hit down the left field line. Emery jumping on the first offering. Sitting back, waiting for the off-speed pitch. Smacking a double down the left field line, about 10 feet fair. So Emery's in scoring position with 2 outs, and Carter Rinne at the dish. Rinne is 0 for 2 today. Always a tough out. He's got 6 hits on the season. Slider for a called strike. Played in the championship against Clay Murphy and the Metropolitans back in 2022. Looked at another slider for a called strike. And Murphy painting corners. Maybe that hit from Joe Emery just made him mad. I don't know. They set Rinne up outside. They attack just missing with the fastball. Ball and 2 strikes. Murphy looks back, now fires home. Got him to go around. Carter not happy, chasing one upstairs. That's a great strikeout pitch from Clay Murphy nonetheless. That ends the 6th, and we stay tied 3-3. It has been that way since the top of the 4th. Mavericks, Metropolitans in this playoff eliminator.
Support local, give local. We hear it all the time, and when it comes to blood donation, there's an easy way to make sure your gift is being used in your community. Donors with Community Blood Center of the Ozarks provide every drop of blood, platelets, and convalescent plasma to patients in over 40 area hospitals. How do I know why that's important? Because my youngest daughter, Jocelina, is alive today thanks to local blood donors. Find out how you can help at cbco.org. Local donors, local patients. That's the Community Blood Center of the Ozarks difference.
Do you ever wake up and feel like you're already out of energy?
I haven't felt that way since I started doing yoga.
You do yoga?
Every morning. Best change I've ever made.
Try our community classes for only $8.
Sumit's hot yoga. You are going to feel awesome.
Joe Juarez back on for the Moon City Mavericks. 3-3 is our score. Mavericks and the Metropolitans all tied up. Be the middle part of the order coming up here for Springfield. Cole Hazelhorst, Grant Cundiff, Mark Blem, all scheduled to come to scratch this inning. Following along here, we are the mercury in the thermometer has exceeded what was projected. 83 right now. We're now looking at an updated high of 84. Promise you out there on the turf, it feels even warmer than that. They're dealing with August-like conditions out there. Hazelhorst chops one. It's over Juarez's head. Welsh charging, fires, throw is offline. Got away from the first baseman Hornberger, but they will keep Hazelhorst at first base to just get one out of that deal. Would have been a pretty heroic play by the shortstop Welsh. Nonetheless, E6 is charged, as he did have time to collect that baseball before he made the errant throw. And when it's a throw like that, almost always is charged to the player who made the throw rather than the guy who didn't catch the ball. So E6 on the board there. It is a courtesy runner for the Mets. Running for the catcher Hazelhorst is reserve outfielder Dave Allen, rookie out of Everton, Missouri. And the batter is another rookie, Grant Cundiff. That is skyward to the shortstop, Brady Welsh. This time camps out and makes the catch no problem. One gone. So with that, the batter is Mark Blem, sponsored by Blem Tool Company. One of the worldwide leaders in paintless dent repair for automobiles, Blem Tool Company out of Morrisville, Missouri. Founded by Mark's father, Jerry. And Mark, carrying on the family tradition, runs a lot of the business operations and marketing side of Blem Tool. Nothing and one. Juarez missed with a slider outside, and that evens the count. Mark Blem 1 for 2 today. Grounded to third base last time. Juarez ran that one way in. Two balls and a strike. There's a check throw. That was done with purpose. Allen just got back, beating the tag. Michael Barnes, the lefty, started the game on the pitcher's mound for the Mavericks. Got the glove to his back. Was hit foul into the Metropolitans dugout. So we're even up 2-2. Runner on, one out. Juarez threw a slider. This is slapped to the third baseman, Evan Barnett. He bounces the throw. Safe is the call Barnett did not get it to Michael Barnes, the first baseman, in time, and then the Mets were able to advance Dave Allen to third. So runners on the corners, 1 out. 2 errors this inning for Moon City. And in a tie ball game, that may end up costing dearly. Here is Calvin Dreyer. His opportunity is tremendous right here. Swing and a foul ball, first base side. Dreyer is 0 for 2. First time he has batted this game with runners in scoring position. 1 RBI on the season for Calvin. Big chance here. That's going to get through on the right side. Allen scores. Mets have the lead 4-3. Calvin Dreyer puts the Metropolitans back out in front, delivering a clutch hit the other way. So 4-3, and the inning continues. Still 1 out. And the opportunity is big here for BVG. 3 hits coming into the day. Looked at a called strike on the outer half there, a slider. Juarez went back to the slider low, and Van Gorp fouled it off into the net. So he's quickly down here, 0-2. Mavericks force out available at every base but the plate. So there's a curve ball, got him with the slow stuff. Van Gorp down on strikes. That will bring up Dalton Winkler, batting for the second time in this one, re-entering here. Winkler, sponsored by State Farm agent Carla Woods in Buffalo, Missouri, works as a physical therapy assistant. 3 hits in 6 games. Oh for 1 today, pulled that one foul, and just also put his third base coach right on his hiney. Todd Tolbert hit the deck. Got up laughing. And I think he saw 50-plus years of life flash before his eyes there. Juarez comes back on the 1-1 down. It's 2-1. To Dalton Winkler, who was on the fence as to whether or not he was going to try out and try to play in the grip and rip this year until his Mets teammate who just got the RBI, Calvin Dreyer, pretty much physically dragged him to tryouts on June 30th. Juarez threw a slider. Winkler lifts this one in the air to left, back, and tracking it for the catch is Ryan Cram. Well, that's a big out for the Mavericks, but the Metropolitans got a big run on the board. Back-to-back errors set up Calvin Dreyer for an RBI single, and the Mets lead the Mavs 4-3. It is time for the 7th inning stretch, and here in the GRBL, the 7th inning stretch is brought to you by Sumit's Hot Yoga. You are going to feel awesome.
I need a change. My workouts are too boring.
Oh, I've got an amazing workout for you. Hot yoga. I've lost weight and I'm more flexible.
Try our community classes for only $8.
Sumit's Hot Yoga. You are going to feel awesome.
I'm Nicole Cartmel with the Bank of Missouri. If you're in the market for a new home, you're probably spending a lot of time looking at real estate listings. But there's one main thing you need to do to narrow down your search. Get pre-qualified for a home loan. Mortgage loan officer Shannon Meissner is here. How does this help you to live well, bank well?
Getting pre-qualified for a mortgage loan is definitely your first step. Pre-qualification allows you to determine early on how much money you can borrow to purchase a home in connection with your monthly budget. This way you know what homes to be watching the market for. We have lots of different loan options to fit everyone's unique needs. This way we can help you accomplish your homeownership dreams and goals. And the best part about pre-qualification is there's no cost. It's quick, easy, and it makes you a smart buyer.
Thanks, Shannon. And of course, our mortgage loan officers like you are here to help you every step of the way. At the Bank of Missouri, we help you live well, bank well. The Bank of Missouri is an equal housing lender.
I'm William Beadle from Tolbert Beadle. It only takes 1 second for a person to be involved in an accident. And when the worst occurs, there's only one person that matters, you. At Tolbert Beadle, we want to be the one you call for help. We're the one to get you the compensation you deserve from the insurance companies. Call us today and find out if you have a case. The consultation is always free. Tolbert Beadle, when you need justice.
We're on the other side of the 7th inning stretch. Springfield Metropolitans lead the Moon City Mavericks 4-3. Mavericks come to bat here with catcher Devin Phillips standing in the right-handed batter's box to face Clay Murphy, and he looks at ball one outside off the plate. It'll be Phillips, Cram, and Hornberger for Moon City here in the bottom of the stretch inning. A couple of costly mistakes by City in the top of the 7th set up Calvin Dreyer to drive in what is currently standing up as the go-ahead run for the Mets, who lead 4-3. Three-time MVP Clay Murphy on the mound, now tasked with holding a lead. Slider for a strikeout gets Devin Phillips looking. 2 strikeouts today for Clay Murphy, who now has, wait, don't tell me, 21 for the season. 184 in his GRBL career. Ranks him 3rd all-time behind Skylar Henson and Andy Galley, both of whom are in the Hall of Fame. Murphy will become Hall eligible next season as he completes 5 years of service time. Grounder off the bat of Ryan Cram is going to trickle through into left field, and the Mavericks left fielder now has 2 hits on the day. Continues to stay hot at the right time, does Ryan Cram. He represents a game-tying run, and a potential go-ahead comes to the plate here in the form of Evan Barnett. So he bats in place of Sam Hornberger. We saw Barnett come on as a defensive replacement, and we saw Daniel England enter Michael Barnes to play first base, so this is the corresponding move. So Hornberger gets lifted. He can re-enter later in the game, should it come to that. But the Mavericks going to take a shot with Barnett here. Nobody out, or 1 out rather. Barnett fouled one off for strike 1. Evan with 2 hits this season. Springfield, Missouri native who went to North Arkansas College. Was a catcher predominantly and a pitcher at Parkview High School. Whoa! Ducked out of the way there. Incidentally, that is the alma mater of the Mavericks manager Daniel England. Parkview. 1 of 5 high schools in the Springfield public school system. Swing and a flare, tailing foul down the right field line, about 12 feet wide of the line. And then it caromed into the right field bullpen. Have open style pens here at Ozark Mountain Sports Complex. There used to be fences out there, but those were taken down to help reduce the risk of injury to outfielders chasing foul balls, although the ground rules operate as though there's an invisible fence, so to speak. A couple of lines mark where the playing surface ends and the bullpen begins. So a 1-2 pitch to Evan Barnett. Nope, make it a check throw over to first where Ryan Cram dove back safely and avoided a couple of fake tags from Calvin Dreyer. Big open stance from Barnett as Murphy misses high. I think think the intent there was to go upstairs with the fastball, but not that high. Back to 2-2. Murph ran that one inside, and the count's now full. So the command, not what former Missouri State Bear Clay Murphy was looking for here in the 7th in a one-run ball game. Try to bear down and get Barnett here. It is a slider, and Barnett clubs it into left field. That's a base hit. Cram thought about going for it, and now he's caught in between. Throw to third. Oh, it's safe. Oh my gosh, did the Mavericks just catch a break? The throw was in time, but as Ryan Cram dove headlong into third base, the ball ejected from the mitt of the third baseman, Mark Blem. And so Cram is safe, and then Barnett, amidst the chaos, advanced to second base, which puts two Mavericks in scoring position, tying run and a go-ahead with one out. And the batter is Jake Thompson. So the Mavericks got a gift there. I'm sure they will happily accept it. Infielders playing in, first base unoccupied, and Jake Thompson fouls that one back. Murphy went up and in, a little jam shot. Jake swung, clubbed it foul back. Thompson has reached on an error and struck out in this game. This is his first look at pitcher Clay Murphy. The 0-1 swung on, another foul ball for Thompson. Just kind of split second late, pulling the trigger as Murphy attacked with velocity there. So the 0-2, let's see if they go to something off speed here. They do. It was a slider. Chopped to the third baseman, Blem. He throws home. Cram dives. He is safe. Barnett slides into third. He is safe. So Jake Thompson plates a run. It is now 4-4. The Mavericks have tied it up here in the bottom of the 7th. Well, I get what the intent was there from Mark Blem, trying to go home and keep the Metropolitans in the lead. But maybe, just maybe, the move was to concede the tie and get the out. Joe Juarez showed bunt, and now Barnett is caught in a rundown. Ball came loose for a second. Barnett had to commit. He is out at the plate. So aggressive base running by Moon City results in an out at the plate there. That was a squeeze play attempt gone awry. Suarez showed bunt, and he takes responsibility for not getting the ball into play. Don't blame Evan Barnett, he says. Slider swung on in the air center field. Back goes Waters, who was encroaching in. Had to make the catch on the run, but he does haul in the baseball for the out, but not before the Moon City Mavericks scratch a run across. Ryan Cram, Evan Barnett, and then Jake Thompson all deliver big in the bottom of the 7th, and it's all even, 4-4. We head to inning number 8. Don't go anywhere. We've got more Grip and Rip baseball coming your way right after this.
I'm William Beadle of Tolbert Beadle. Why would you call anyone else after a car accident? Tolbert Beadle has been right here in Missouri for decades. We know the local courts, and we know how to fight. You don't pay us a penny unless we win money for you. And we're not satisfied until we secure the largest settlement possible. With millions of dollars recovered, you know who to call. Tolbert Beadle, when you need justice.
4-4. This one stays good. Well, the first two meetings between these two teams in 2024 both resulted in 3-2 final scores, so stood to reason this one would also be a barn burner, and it absolutely has been. One team will go on to the GRBL Semifinals. For the other, the season will end today. There is not a lot of baseball left for one of these teams. Gonna have to let it eat. It is the Eliminators, and it has been good as advertised thus far. Clay Murphy bats here for the Springfield Metropolitans in the 8th. They are at the top of their order on the lineup card. So Murphy, Broadstreet, Waters, all due up. Clay Murphy, this team's leader in hits, uncharacteristically cold today, 0 for 3. Watches one sail by outside. 1-1. Slider slapped down the left field line. That's going to get into the glove of Ryan Cram. And the Mavericks left fielder continues to just do a bang-up job on defense, robbing Murphy of the hit there. Keeps the bases empty for the number 2 batter, Harrison Broadstreet. Street 0 for 3 today. Struck out last time up. That was against Joe Juarez. Swings and sends this one foul just beyond the net. Went over the dugout and then ended up back on the playing surface in foul territory in front of the Mets on deck circle on the third base side. Slider called strike on the outer half. So quickly 0-2. Juarez rocks and fires. They attack back inside, and Harrison Broadstreet put down on strikes. A big pitch from Joe Juarez nets his second strikeout of the ball game. And it brings up the hot-hitting Harrison Waters. Waters 2 for 3 today, 5 for 18 for the season. Tripled his first time up, then he singled in the 4th. Lined out to the second baseman Carter Rinne last time up, and the Mavericks are lined up playing him to pull. Right fielder Jake Thompson almost back at the warning track. He is way back there. And Rinne, the second baseman, playing several feet back onto the grassy turf. A breaking ball from Juarez is lined foul down the right field line. Harrison Waters was on top of that, but early. So he's worked it 1-2. All tied up 4-4 in the 8th. Juarez missed outside with a fastball down. So that makes it deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. That's inside, and the count's now full. It is a pressure cooker. Payoff pitch misses outside. Juarez did not get the spin on that he wanted, and he walks Harrison Waters. So Waters has stolen a base already today. I suspect he might be tempted to take off here. And the Mavericks facing Zach Young, who is 1 for 3 with an RBI today. Make that 2 for 4. That is up the middle and into center field. Waters digging for third, and he will get there. So Zach Young jumped on the first thing Joe Juarez offered, sent it out into center field, and Harrison Waters turned on the jets, went first to third. So he represents a go-ahead run. He is on for Cole Hazelhorst, who's 1 for 3 with an RBI today. Just like that, the Mets trying to pounce in the 8th. Hazelhorst puts one in the air to center field. Emery has a good read on it. Took 2 steps, made the catch to get the out. So a big scare, but the Mavericks managed to survive it in the top of the 8th. We will go to the bottom of the 8th with the score. Moon City 4, Springfield 4. Don't go anywhere. This playoff eliminator rolls on live when we come back.
I'm Nicole Cartmel with the Bank of Missouri. Whether you're looking to pay bills or make a big purchase, sometimes you need cash quickly to take that next step. A consumer loan might be a perfect option to help you live well, bank well. Sonia McClendon, one of our branch managers, is here to explain.
Thank you, Nicole. We provide personal consumer loans for almost any purpose, from building your credit to financing that new car. We offer competitive rates, and decisions are made locally so we can get you the money that you need quickly. But what makes our consumer loans unique is that personal touch. For example, I recently worked with a customer to secure a loan for a horse trailer. He could have went elsewhere, but he chose to work with his bank because of that personal relationship that we've built with him. Being able to work with your personal banker that you know and trust makes a big difference.
That's right, because we work with our customers to help them live well, bank well. Get started at bankofmissouri.com.
Big part of the order coming up here for the Moon City Mavericks, tied 4-4 with their rivals, the Springfield Metropolitans. The Mavs will send their 2-3-4 hitters to the dish in the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Brady Welsh, Tony Lewis, and Michael Barnes. I can confirm substitutions are not happening. All 3 of those men have the helmets on. They've got the bats in hand. They are all watching carefully as Clayton Murphy takes his warm-up throws, about to embark on his 3rd inning of work in this ball game as his storied GRBL career rolls on in the Eliminators. So here he is facing Brady Welsh. Welsh 1 for 3 today with an infield single back in the 1st. There's a called strike on the outer half. Again, one team will win this thing and advance to the semifinals. The other will just have to watch. Grounder up the middle to the shortstop. Broadstreet's throw to Dreyer is in time for the first out. So the batter's Lewis. He had a 2 RBI double in the 1st. Gave the Mavericks a 2-1 lead at that time. He has since popped out to the second baseman and flown out to center field. Metropolitans playing him to pull it, as Lewis typically swings for the fences. They're giving him a big old gap up the middle. Swings and actually does put this one the other way, but there's a lot of air underneath it. Van Gorp tracked it down, a last-second adjustment on descent, but he made the catch for the second out. So Clay Murphy working quickly through a pretty meaty part of the Mavericks order here in the 8th. Doesn't bode well for City, as Michael Barnes stands in the right-handed batter's box 1 for 3 today. Murphy bounces one down for ball 1. So Barnes with 7 hits in 8 games. 7 for 23 for the campaign. That is a .304 average. Swung on and missed at strike 1. Clay got him to chase upstairs. Well, looked like he went back to a 2-seam fastball, and back into the strike zone he went for a called strike 2. Murphy in a tie ball game in the 8th. Misses outside. They tried another heater, but it was out there. So 2-2. That was a slider back over the plate. A called strike three. 3 up, 3 down for Clay Murphy and the Metropolitans. We go to the 9th, tied up 4-4. It is the Grip and Rip Baseball League playoffs. Back with more right after this break. This is just as good as it gets.
When Gary and Sandra Henry started Henry's Towing nearly 5 decades ago, customers knew that Henry would be the guy coming to help. People would call and ask to let Henry do it. And as Springfield has grown, our family has grown as well, so there's always someone around to come help you out. Everyone at Henry's is a member of the family, fully trained and as dependable as the original. With a family this size, help is always right around the corner. So if you find yourself in need of roadside assistance, remember to call the name you've grown to know and trust. Remember to let Henry do it!
Do you ever wake up and feel like you're already out of energy?
I haven't felt that way since I started doing yoga.
You do yoga?
Every morning. Best change I've ever made.
Try our community classes for only $8.
Sumit's hot yoga. You are going to feel awesome.
Rance Burger back with you live at Ozark Mountain Sports Complex, home of the Grip and Rip Baseball League since 2016. Big thank you to our streaming sponsor, Central Bank of the Ozarks, member FDIC, an equal housing lender. And as we get ready for the 9th, with the score tied 4-4 between the Mets and the Mavericks, here's how extra innings work in the GRBL playoffs. Playoffs. It'll be natural baseball for a would-be 10th, 11th, and 12th inning. If we end up still tied and going to a 13th inning, that's where we would start to see what we call the California tiebreaker, where you put a runner on second base with no outs. We would do that for 1 inning as Grant Cundiff pops it up. This is into trouble, but Brady Welsh, the shortstop, back there to get it, called off the help from his teammate Ryan Cram, and Welsh makes the catch for the out. So yeah, you do a 13th inning with a runner on second. If it's still tied going into the 14th, then we would go to the old school Grip and Rip Baseball League tiebreaker, which is bases loaded, 2 outs. And we would do that shootout style until somebody could manage to win. Here's a slow hopper, and yeah, no play for the second baseman, Carter Rinne, off the bat of Mark Blem. Got on top of it, spent just enough energy on the ball that Rinne would have had an exceptionally tough play. Nonetheless, it is going to be E4 charged to Carter there. Second time for Mark Blem to reach on an error. But he is on for Calvin Dreyer, and if you're the Springfield Mets, you don't really care what the official scorer had to say. It doesn't have to be artwork. You're just trying to break this tie and advance on to the semifinals. Calvin Dreyer is the batter. 1 out. Runner at first is Mark Blem for the Mets, representing the go-ahead. Dreyer lifts one in the air to left. Ryan Cram tracking it well, makes the catch. And the out. It's 2 down. That will bring up Ben Van Gorp. BVG 0 for 3 on the day. 34 plus hits in his GRBL career. That's swung on, skied. That's going to get over the net and out of play. Foul. Third base side, in or about the 5th row, just above the Springfield dugout. Juarez missed outside with an off-speed pitch attempt. Back to the fastball, he goes up and in, sending Van Gorp ducking out of the way. 2 balls and a strike. That might have just been something to set up a Joe Juarez slider. Yes, indeed. Van Gorp got under it. Ryan Cram, again, pressed into action for the Mavericks. No problem. Great defensive game for Ryan Cram. as he makes the catch for the out. So we stay tied 4-4. This commercial-free ninth inning brought to you by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Central Bank Company, member FDIC. Tell you briefly, as this game has hummed right along, we are just 2 hours and 9 minutes old, getting ready for the bottom of the ninth. Coming up at 3, it is the Branson Showmen and the Ozark Mountain Ducks, and we can confirm starting pitchers for this one. Showmen will be the home team. They will start Trey Turner, the right-hander from Neosho, Missouri. Pitched in the Washington Nationals organization as a professional and has thrown 10 scoreless innings as a GRBLer. He will be opposite Kyle Carpenter, the left-hander from St. Charles, Missouri, out of John Wood Community College, who has emerged as an innings eater for the Ozark Mountain Ducks, a pitching renaissance of sorts for the now veteran Kyle Carpenter. Feels kind of weird to say. I remember when he was just a young rookie, but Kyle Carpenter has very quickly settled into a grizzled veteran role. So Carpenter versus Turner, pretty good matchup, as most playoff matchups are here in the GRBL. Should be a good one. That series between the Showmen and the Mountain Ducks this season, it's 2 victories to none in Branson's favor. However, a total of 3 runs decided those 2 ball games. So this one was close. We expected it to be between the Mavericks and the Metropolitans. We expect another close one in that 3 o'clock game between the Showmen and the Mountain Ducks. We know the Republic Locos and the Nixa Suckers are both watching both of these games with earnest as they await news on who their opponents will be in the semifinals next Sunday, October 13th. So here's Joe Emery for the Moon City Mavericks, batting in a tie ball game, bottom of the ninth. He swings and lifts one foul up and out of play. It's going to be Emery, Rinne, and Phillips for the Mavs this inning. Joe 1 for 3 with a double. Pulls that one down the left field line foul. I think he saw it well. Just was expecting a fastball and got a slider maybe instead. Seven hits in 8 games for Emery here in 2024. Saw his offensive output recover a little bit. He was limited to 5 hits a season ago. Murphy threw him a breaking pitch up and out of the zone to make the count 1-2. Slider on the inner half. Emery chopped it. Slow roller to third. No play for Mark Blem as Emery legs out an infield single, and not sure if that's a sign of trouble, frustration, or what, but Clay Murphy slammed his mitt to the turf. And I don't know, that may be something physical, as he came off the mound after the ball at the same time Blem was charging it. Sort of the right brand of frustration, perhaps, for... Not sure if he's got a hamstring issue. Might have tweaked something coming off of that pitcher's mound. Nonetheless, after a brief chat with his teammates, he's back up on the rubber to face Carter Rinne. Potential go-ahead run is on. Rinne lays down a bunt. Murphy off the mound to get it. His play is at first to Calvin Dreyer, and he makes it. Rinne sacrifices to move a man up into scoring position. That is Joe Emery. With 1 out, Mavericks have a man in scoring position, and the batter is Devin Phillips. We've seen the Mavericks play some small ball to success before, as they had back-to-back weeks of walk-off wins, 3-2 each time. including against these Springfield Metropolitans. Is small ball going to be what advances Moon City to the semis? Phillips swings and chops one. Murphy off the mound to get it. Again, no choice. He's got to go to first, and does, to get the second out. So 2 gone. Emery did make it up to third. And if you're the Mavericks, this is as good of a guy as any to have walking to the dish. Ryan Cram. He is 2 for 3 today. He is 5 for 19 for the season. Metropolitans just got to concentrate on getting Ryan Cram in a tie game. You can't worry about Emery. Murphy bearing down, ran that one way in, and Cram selling it like he got hit. Umpire Brian Lozano says, no, you did not. Ball 1. Cram back in the batter's box. Murphy comes set from up by his chin. Fastball called strike on the outer half. Well, if Clay Murphy has some physical ailment, he's not showing it there. Ball and a strike. And they work him inside, absolutely tied him up. So a 1-2 count for Ryan Cram. Murphy trying to send this thing to the 10th inning. Ryan Cram trying to end it. Murphy from the chest. That is up and out of the strike zone. That'll make it deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on third is Emery in a tie ball game, 4-4. The Mets and the Mavericks in the GRBL Eliminators. Clay Murphy sets up, and the 3-time MVP fires home. Got him on strikes. We will go to extra innings. 4-4. Nothing is settled. We head to the 10th, and it will be an inning of natural baseball. Nobody on, nobody out for the top of the 10th when we come back.
I'm Nicole Cartmel with the Bank of Missouri. If you're in the market for a new home, you're probably spending a lot of time looking at real estate listings. But there's one main thing you need to do to narrow down your search. Get pre-qualified for a home loan. Mortgage loan officer Shannon Meissner is here. How does this help you to live well, bank well?
Getting pre-qualified for a mortgage loan is definitely your first step. Pre-qualification allows you to determine early on how much money you can borrow to purchase a home in connection with your monthly budget. This way you know what homes to be watching the market for. We have lots of different loan options to fit everyone's unique needs. This way we can help you accomplish your homeownership dreams and goals. And the best part about pre-qualification is there's no cost. It's quick, easy, and it makes you a smart buyer.
Thanks, Shannon. And of course, our mortgage loan officers like you are here to help you every step of the way. At the Bank of Missouri, we help you live well, bank well. The Bank of Missouri is an equal housing lender.
Confusion on the diamond. GRBL rules on the website say it should be nobody on, nobody out. Metropolitans have sent Ben Van Gorp out there to run on second. Yeah, this is not right. Something is not correct here. Tony Lewis, the commissioner, as Van Gorp takes off. Winkler swung on and missed, and then a throw goes into the outfield. Van Gorp is going to score, but I don't think this is correct, guys. It's 5-4 Mavericks if that's the rule we're playing by, but I don't think that was supposed to happen. Well, the commissioner, Tony Lewis, is on the Mavericks. He's standing up, but Okay, 5-4, I guess, on a wild pitch. That runs contrary to the published rules of the league, but here we are nonetheless as Brady Welsh catches that flare off the bat of Dalton Winkler for the first out. So it is 5-4 Mets, I guess. All right. So that means the Mavericks will have a chance to strike back. They will get a runner on second in the bottom of the 10th. And we go back to the top of the order for the Metropolitans, and the batter is Murphy. All right. Well, what do I know? Here's a grounder to third. Barnett's throw across to Barnes in time. And yeah, something is not right with Clay Murphy as he did not run that out and did not look comfortable with the running he did there. Got to applaud the guy for being a gamer and hanging in. 2 outs, and the batter is Broadstreet with the Metropolitans now leading 5-4. Slider swung on in line. That's going to get through Evan Barnett. It's got to be scored as a base hit for Harrison Broadstreet. Yes, indeed. Single into left. So Broadstreet is on, and we play on.
Number 7, Harrison Waters.
Mavericks will get a chance to answer in the bottom of the 10th. Metropolitans would like to add to it here as the batter is Waters. Wild pitch, got away from the catcher Phillips. Runner Broadstreet will advance into scoring position, no problem. One-0 pitch, slapped the other way. That's going to get into left. Metropolitans are going to send the runner. Ryan Cram up with it. Barnett cut it. Throw over, and safe is the call. So another run comes across for the Mets. It is now 6-4. RBI single for Harrison Waters into left. Six to 4 in the 10th. Batter is Zach Young. Juarez ran one in. 1-0. So Mavericks will have to make up 2 runs in order to extend the game. They will start off with a runner at second base, nobody out. Called Steerike to Zach Young. 2-1. That ran way inside. It is now a 3-1 count for Zach. Called strike on the outer half. And we are full up with a runner on, 2 outs. 2-run ball game in extras. Juarez comes home. Young lines one in the air to left. Ryan Cram runs in, makes the catch, and the Mavericks left fielder will give his team a chance in the bottom of the 10th. Mets plate 2. A wild pitch allowed Ben Van Gorp to run from second to home to score 1, and then an RBI single off the bat of Harrison Waters made it 6-4. Bottom of the 10th comes your way right after this. It is Grip and Rip Baseball, live and free right here on YouTube.
I'm William Beadle from Tolbert Beadle. It only takes 1 second for a person to be involved in an accident. And when the worst occurs, there's only one person that matters, you. At Tolbert Beadle, we want to be the one you call for help. We're the one to get you the compensation you deserve from the insurance companies. Call us today and find out if you have a case. The consultation is always free. Tolbert Beadle, when you need justice.
When Gary and Sandra Henry started Henry's Towing nearly 5 decades ago, customers knew that Henry would be the guy coming to help. People would call and ask to let Henry do it. And as Springfield has grown, our family has grown as well, so there's always someone around to come help you out. Everyone at Henry's is a member of the family, fully trained and as dependable as the original. With a family this size, help is always right around the corner. So if you find yourself in need of roadside assistance, remember to call the name you've grown to know and trust. Remember to let Henry do it!
Back to the pitcher's mound for the Metropolitans. They lead 6-4. It is the bottom of the 10th inning, so the Mavericks have got to score at least 2 runs to extend this ball game. They will get a base runner. It's Ryan Cram in scoring position at second base with nobody out. The batter is Evan Barnett. So it'll be the 9, 10, and 1 hitters for the Mavs. Barnett, Thompson, and Juarez. Clay Murphy trying to shut the door. His name is on the Howard Bell Trophy 4 times. Trying to avoid elimination for the first time in his career. He is not 100% physically, but gutting it out here, trying to will his Springfield Metropolitans on to the semifinals. Big open stance for Evan Barnett, who watches a ball go by outside. So Evan 1 for 1 on the day with a single. Ball driven out to left field in the 7th. That later resulted in a run coming across, an RBI for Jake Thompson. Barnett swung at that one, and that hit the catcher Cole Hazelhorst. It's going to take a second to walk that off. Nice job by the plate umpire Brian Lozano. He is always careful to protect catchers, giving them a little bit of recovery time. Sort of one of those unwritten, gentlemanly gestures of baseball. 2-1 the count to Evan Barnett. They set him up for a slider over the plate for a called strike. And we're now even 2-2. And Mavericks have to score 2 runs here, or the Mets will win. Time is called. Back live, Murphy from the chest. Struck him out, 1 down. So the Moon City Mavericks started this year 0-4, battled back to win 3 straight. 3-4 coming into this one. Metropolitans, meanwhile, fell to 2-5. They're the number 5 seed in the playoffs in this 4 versus 5 game. Jake Thompson flares one. That is going to get way up out of play, foul. Upper level of seats on the first base side. So the rookie from Ash Grove, Missouri, Jake Thompson, trying to extend this game for Moon City. Swings and sends one right side. That will trickle through. Into right field it goes. Base hit. And the Mavericks will hold the runner at third. So they've got the tying run aboard. That's Thompson at first with a single. They do not send Ryan Cram home. Instead, they held him up at third. Sets up first and third. 1 out for the leadoff man, Joe Juarez. He is 1 for 4 today with a single and a strikeout. 8 for 25 on the season. 8 hits in 8 games. That is grounded right side. Winkler They get Broad Street to 1. The throw got high. It did not get Joe Juarez. There was no touch on the bag and no tag from Calvin Dreyer, so 1 run does score. That's Cram coming home. It's 6-5. Mavericks have cut the lead to 1. Six to 5 is the score, and the final hope is Brady Welsh. Double play would have ended it. Instead, we extend it. So Juarez is the pitcher. They're going to courtesy run Jake Thompson for him. And now a full-on meeting has broken out among Metropolitans infielders. It's probably an extended discussion as to what they think or where they think Brady Welsh could hit the baseball if it comes into play. And also what the coverages would be. You have to think with 2 outs, Jake Thompson's going to take off, certainly on a 2-strike pitch. But maybe before that. So the batter is Brady Welsh. And an infield single back in the first. GRBL veteran. Trying to keep his team from getting eliminated. Looks at a slider for strike 1. Or 0-1 pitch rather, swung on, fouled back. It is now 0-2. Clay Murphy 1 strike away from sending his team to the semis. The Mavericks 1 strike away from elimination. Clay Murphy in the 10th inning. Checks the runner Thompson, now comes set from the chest. That's outside, he missed. Well, the winner of this one will get to extend their season and live on to play another day. Murphy from Wolf Lake, Illinois, sets up for the 1-2. Welsh chops it, foul. He will stay in the hunt. The Marshfield, Missouri native Brady Welsh. Moon City's last chance. Base hit would extend it. Another 1-2 pitch coming here. Clay Murphy has what he wants from the catcher Cole Hazelhorst. Looks back at the runner Thompson, who's got a short lead. Murphy winds and fires. Welsh grounds this one right side. Winkler up with it. His throw to Dreyer in time, and the Springfield Metropolitans win 6-5. They survive in extra innings. The Metropolitans advance to the GRBL playoff semifinals. Goodness sakes. Clay Murphy pitched 5 innings, allowing 2 runs, but he is your winning pitcher, our Elite Promotions Elite Performer of the game from the Springfield Metropolitans. Well, that's got to be this guy. All right, 3 for 4 with a triple and an RBI that stands up as the game-winning run in the 10th. Got to be the center fielder, Harrison Waters, your Elite Promotions Elite Performer of the game. As the Springfield Metropolitans hang on and win 6-5 in 10 innings. They go to the GRBL semifinals against an opponent to be determined. It will either be the Republic Locos or the Nixus Suckers. Well, we will keep this broadcast going, come back, talk things over with some of the boys from the Mets after this break. And then coming up today at 3 o'clock right here on the YouTube channel, the Rance and Showmen will play the Ozark Mountain Ducks in the day's second Eliminator. Back with more after this break.
Acme Towing Company. That's too far away.
Let Henry's do it.
Nah, we're ready to close.
Let Henry's do it.
Henry's is ready to take your call right now. From compacts to semis, Henry is here to help 24/7. Save yourself the hassle and make us your first call. Henry's gets there fast, offering multiple locations to serve the Ozarks. When you're stuck on the side of the road, make the right call. Let Henry do it.
I need a change. My workouts are too boring.
Oh, I've got an amazing workout for you. Hot yoga. I've lost weight and I'm more flexible.
Try our community classes for only $8.
Sumit's hot yoga. You are going to feel awesome.
I'm Nicole Cartmel with the Bank of Missouri. If you're in the market for a new home, you're probably spending a lot of time looking at real estate listings. But there's one main thing you need to do to narrow down your search. Get pre-qualified for a home loan. Mortgage loan officer Shannon Meissner is here. How does this help you to live well, bank well?
Getting pre-qualified for a mortgage loan is definitely your first step. Pre-qualification allows you to determine early on how much money you can borrow to purchase a home in connection with your monthly budget. This way you know what homes to be watching the market for. We have lots of different loan options to fit everyone's unique needs. This way we can help you accomplish your homeownership dreams and goals. And the best part about pre-qualification is there's no cost. It's quick, easy, and it makes you a smart buyer.
Thanks, Shannon. And of course, our mortgage loan officers like you are here to help you every step of the way. At the Bank of Missouri, we help you live well, bank well. The Bank of Missouri is an equal housing lender.
I'm William Beadle from Tolbert Beadle. It only takes 1 second for a person to be involved in an accident. And when the worst occurs, there's only one person that matters, you. At Tolbert Beadle, we want to be the one you call for help. We're the one to get you the compensation you deserve from the insurance companies. Call us today and find out if you have a case. The consultation is always free. Tolbert Beadle, when you need justice.
Roethlisberger back with you live at Ozark Mountain Sports Complex, where the Springfield Metropolitans are winners. They defeat the Moon City Mavericks 6-5 in 10 innings to conclude a thrilling GRBL playoff eliminator. Let's bring in our Elite Promotions Elite Performer of the game, Harrison Waters. And Harrison, today, a 3 for 4 performance at the day with a triple, and he drove in what stood up as the game-winning run. I mean, let's start with the obvious, the emotional significance of this win, right? It's been an up-and-down year for you and for the Springfield Metropolitans, but you win at the right time, you stave off elimination. What does that mean to you and the guys?
Yeah, I think it was huge. Nobody wants to be the first team going home. Nobody wants to lose the first one. And, we battled back and forth with the Mavs, and they've been on a hot streak, so we knew it was going to be a tough task. But, I think this is good momentum going into the playoffs. Like I said, it's going to be fun. And like I said, it took every bit of everyone today to get that W. And so just proud of the boys for sure.
Say, how have the guys, kept it together? What has the mood been like as your team has had its successes and some struggles?
Well, it's been loose. We have Harrison Broadstreet, and he's known on our team as the funny one, so I'm the non-funny one. But he keeps it loose, and like I said, we all have a fun time in there. We've got we just needed some breaks. We just haven't had a lot of breaks this year. I never want to look at it that way, but we've been swinging the bat well. We had a lot of flyouts to the outfield. We need to just hit some balls on the ground, but I think the camaraderie and everything, like I said, that's the reason we're out here playing. So
it certainly put you into a collection of Metropolitans, and you mentioned Harrison Broadstreet. He's another. It's veteran players who have been proven winners and proven producers in this league who just kind of struggled to get started. Hits weren't coming. We saw like hard line drives right at people, and that's kind of been the story of offense for this Metropolitans team.
Well, it can happen. It can happen to anybody. I mean, this league is just short enough to kind of slump through a season. It's just short enough, though, to be on a hot streak the whole time, and we've seen it. And it's kind of one of those things. And I like Tony's been kind of preaching this lately because we're all out here for the same reason, that's to have fun and play competitive baseball. We all take it maybe a little too serious, and I say that because when it starts to affect your work week, when you go 0 for 4, that's tough. And so it's nice to pull off a win, but we're all having a fun time out there and staying competitive. So.
And how much, as a guy who's been to the top of the mountain a few times now, and you've had a lot of success in your GRBL career, got your name on the bell several times. How much do you take it upon yourself at this time of the year to sort of be that attitude setter, that pace setter in your dugout?
I take a tremendous task of doing that. I try and be kind of a clubhouse leader. I've always kind of had that approach, and I want these guys to realize that it doesn't matter if it's your first time, you've never won a high school championship or a college one. That doesn't matter. Once you get out here and you just kind of feel what it feels to win, it's just such an awesome feeling. So we definitely want to just keep that rolling and let the new guys feel that.
Well, let's bring in another guy who's got his name on the Howard Bell Trophy several times over.
Hi.
Clay Murphy. Clay, you just pitched 5 innings, and I think that's one of the noticeably gutsier performances we've ever seen you go out there and have. I mean, first of all, just tell us how are you feeling physically right this moment?
I'm a little tender. Was still sore from last week. Still got some fresh bruises from getting hit a couple times last week, so tweaked a hip flexor, I guess.
I was going to say, we saw you come off the mound awkwardly. I wanted to ask about that on a slow one on the infield. Is that what it was? Was a hip?
Yeah, I pulled it the at bat before where I tried to beat out the infield hit, and then I just didn't feel very good the rest of the game. So it was one of those things where I was like, well, I'll go until I can't go anymore. I may not be as mobile, but I can still throw. So just have to stay on the brown instead of going on the green.
So how glad were you to see Harrison Broadstreet and then Harrison Waters produce for you guys in the 10th?
It makes me very happy to see that. These guys have been grinding all year and putting together good ABs and hitting the ball hard. It's just been one of those years so far where it hasn't fallen, and today we finally found holes, and we've been saying it all year. Keep hitting the ball hard. Keep working. Keep doing what you're doing, and Harrison, both of them paid off today. Waters finding gaps early finally.
You say finally. I was talking with Harrison about that, and I think you've got just kind of a collection of guys up and down the order who we know are capable producers and have been capable hitters in this league. You've had a lot of just balls hit right at guys, or like a bad bounce here and a bad bounce there. Throughout the season, I'd certainly put both of the Harrisons plus Mark Blim and maybe a little bit of Calvin Dreyer and Zach Young in that mix as well.
Absolutely.
So that said, Clay, what has been your strategy is now that you are in the manager's role to keep that all together, and you don't just have to worry about what's Clay Murphy's approach.
Right.
You now have to worry about everyone mentally.
Right. Well, a lot of these guys, they've been through it enough. There's not a lot of coaching involved. Like, I can walk up to Harris and just be like, hey, good job. You know what you need to do. Keep doing it. Not worried about you.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to happen. Mark has struggled this year. He's been hitting balls, just ton of atom balls or whatever, and I was like, dude, you are gonna break through at some point. Like it's gonna happen.
To do it too.
And
let's do playoffs.
Exactly. Bumped him down one spot in the lineup just to switch it up, and maybe give him a different look, and paid off today. So he finally broke through, and he's playoff Mark, man. Dude comes up clutch when you need him, right? Like. And I messed up and called him Mike today, and he got a hit and scored a run, so now everybody's calling him Mike. So I'm like, well, all right, have at it.
He in 2019 he played about half of his season for Justin Skinner as Mark Beam, and that worked out. He did get his real name on the bell that year. But,
absolutely.
I think everybody knows Mark Blim at this point, so that's
absolutely
that's okie dokie. Well, guys, last thing I wanted to ask you about, and Harrison, it's good to have you up here, and it's good that you brought your entourage today. You're one of those guys you get. We see your dad Frank Waters out here quite a bit, and he helps us out a fair bit behind the scenes as well. But a baseball man from way back, so you get to share baseball with your dad again. But you also have your kids out here, and they're cheering for Dad. So just wrap that experience, wrap your head around that experience for the folks at home. Most of us are just never going to have any kind of clue what that's like, both to play in front of your parents again and then to play in front of your own kids.
It's remarkable. I mean, it's one of the greatest gifts you can give, and like I said, for your kids to be able to see you and still think that their dad still got it. I mean, in a world where I'd say activity amongst us adults, us parents, is pretty low, it's hard. We go support our kids for a lot of different events. So for them to get out there and see that their parents are willing to sweat through something and play, it's honestly, it means the world. So that's a big reason. The second that my kids don't enjoy coming out here and run around the ballpark anymore, you might not see me much longer. So it is everything, and I definitely, like I said, enjoy that they can make it out. And I have to give you a shout out. They didn't make a lot of games this year due to the times that we play.
Yep.
And when they can watch it on the broadcast and they can hear it and all that's huge. And so I tip my hat to you, Rance, for doing that for us.
Absolutely.
Well, Clay, we always appreciate the folks tuning in from Wolf Lake, Illinois. I think the whole town was tuned in today to see what was going to happen to the Metropolitans. But you guys are going on to the semifinals against either the Locos or the Suckers. So do a little scoreboard watching, and we'll have to tell everybody in Wolf Lake, keep following on Facebook. We will announce those matchups as soon as we know something. But
definitely,
it's what I like about the I like it about the Eliminators. I'm sure you guys hate it, but what I like is that the matchups are not set until the final out of the final game.
Yeah, no, a lot of us talk about as selfish as it sounds, you don't get many games out here, right? Like you get 9 to 10 games a year, 9 if you get the bye, and so a lot of us are selfish. We're like, hey, we don't want to get the bye. We want to play more games, right? And you get to see the baseball longer. You get to be out here longer and have fun. And that's the biggest thing. Is we just want to keep extending that time that we get to play, right?
And anything can happen. The difference between a 1 and a 6, like I said, anyone can win this whole thing. So looking forward to seeing.
You guys realistically, you were 1 run away from having the bye, and then you end up dropping all the way to the number 5 seed. And
we were 1 run away like 3 times this year, Rance. So it's it's one of those
understandable.
Things that, finally we're on the correct side of a 1-run ball game. So.
That's the GRBL, man. That's what keeps us neutral observers so engaged. But I'm sure it's frustrating for you guys sometimes.
Part of it.
But good win today, and we will wait and see. You will be back either at noon or 3 p.m. next week against either the Nixa Suckers or the Republic Locos.
Sounds good.
All right.
Until then, have a good week, guys. We'll see you back next Sunday. Harrison Waters, Clay Murphy, and the Springfield Metropolitans victors today, 6-5, defeating the Moon City Mavericks in 10 innings for the Mavericks. Daniel England's club, the season is over. What a run they had after falling down 0-4. They rattled off 3 consecutive wins to get themselves in the best position possible out here today, coming up just 1 run shy. But ultimately, the season is done for the Moon City Mavericks. The Springfield Metropolitans live on to fight another day. It's going to do it for us. We're going to shut down this stream and immediately start up a new one right here on the GRBL's YouTube channel to bring you the Branson Showmen and the Ozark Mountain Ducks. For our directors Derek Saiko and Jacob House, and for Kevin Robertson and all of us here at the Grip and Rip Baseball League, I'm Rance Berger wishing you good afternoon from Ozark, Missouri.